Sports Channel presents Phillies baseball. Tonight, live from Shea Stadium in New York, the Phillies take on the New York Mets. And we have a great night for a ball game here at Shea Stadium. I'm Andy Musser along with Kent TeCulvey. Curt Schilling is going to work this game for the Phillies. He's been masterful against the Mets so far this year. And Eric Hillman, who has only one victory all season long, is going to pitch it for New York. Well, Teak, it's September 15th, and Jim Fregosi says that's the official start of the pennant race, September 1-5. Now, the Phillies have 17 games to go, a 4.5-game lead. I know things haven't gone exactly the way they'd like lately, but that does qualify for being in the driver's seat, doesn't it?
Well, it really does, and, you know, what has happened in the last couple of weeks is why Jim Fregosi says the pennant race doesn't start until the middle of September, because you really don't have everything sorted out until that point. Everything that's happened has been a little bit on the downside recently, but when you look at it, the Phillies still 4.5 games up with 17 to go. They are still in the best position of any first-place ball club in any division, so you have to be happy. I think any of those other first-place clubs would rather trade positions with the Phillies right now.
One piece of bad news, though, is that the Phillies have lost outfielder Pete Incaviglia, at least for a few days. He was hurt here last night. He's not in the lineup this evening. Do you know exactly what his status is?
Well, his status right now is he's out indefinitely. Dr. Marone is going to fly to Montreal on Friday to examine Pete. I think at that point they'll have a little better idea of, you know, how long it's going to be. It's one of those late season injuries that happens, you know, when the legs get fatigued late in the year, and Pete, trying to stretch a single into a double last night, extended himself on that head first slide, extended that calf muscle, felt a little bit of a pull in there. So we'll just have to wait till Friday to see what Dr. Marone says.
Danny Jackson also turned an ankle slightly last night, but according to the medical reports, Jackson is okay and will be able to take his next turn. That'll be against Montreal on Sunday. We'll be back with more from Shea Stadium in New York right after this timeout.
Effective immediately. You pay only $4.89 per month to lease Cadillac's world-class 93 Seville. That's right. Monthly lease payments for Cadillac's premier luxury sedan have just been reduced to $4.89 per month, 24 months, $21.93 down. Cadillac Closeout 93 is on now. Buy a 93 Sedan DeVille. Get $3,000 cash back from Cadillac. Get $2,000 cash on a 93 Fleetwood. Inventories are limited. When they're gone, they're gone. See your Cadillac Super Network dealer now.
To soar with eagles, be the best. To win the industry's highest awards for quality, commit to excellence. Provide superior quality products and have the strength to offer them at more than 12,500 locations nationwide. More than any other major brand. Discover for yourself the difference quality can make. Fly with the new superpower.
Phillies baseball on Sports Channel is brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and Easy Drinking Bush Light. Head for the mountains of Bush. By your local Sherwin-Williams paint store. The pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams, a participating sponsor of Major League Baseball. By Mellon PSFS, the official bank of the Phillies. By Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic Company. By Texaco. Save up to $5 by joining Texaco's Frequent Fueler Club. Visit your local participating Texaco location for all the details. Texaco, star of the American road. By Coca-Cola. Phillies baseball and Coca-Cola. Always a hit, always Coca-Cola. By Cento Fine Italian Foods, the company that says trust your family with our family. And by Independence Blue Cross Personal Choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people. My partner Andy Musser had a chance to talk with tonight's starting pitcher before the game. Let's join them now.
And we're back here at Shea Stadium. We're with the starting pitcher for the Phillies tonight, Curt Schilling. Curt, let's go back to the All-Star break. You've been a different pitcher in the second half than you were in the first half. Let's go back to what you did during those 3 days at the All-Star break, mentally and physically.
Well, physically, I golfed. I went home, and I told Bo when I left the park that last day of the first half that I was going to get rid of what had just happened. I was going to be out of my mind, and I was going to focus, and I was going to have a good second half. And you don't tell Bo anything unless you can back it up. So I felt good coming out for the second half, and I've been confident and positive ever since.
Is that why you told Bo, so that you'd have to do it?
Well, in a sense, maybe, yeah, I did, but I just felt like I knew that things were over with once the All-Star break began, that that struggle that I'd gone through was finished, and that there was a whole half a season ahead of me.
You know, there was a theory that in the first half of the year, some of the Phillies starting pitchers worked too many innings, too many complete games. This theory is not bought by your manager. How do you stand on it?
No, it's not bought by any of the pitchers on the staff either. You know, there were some things that happened in the first half. We just struggled. You know, physically, velocity-wise, I never lost anything. I just didn't pitch well, and you know, I guess those things happen. I never expected to go through a streak like that, but until you go through one, you don't realize how hard it is to get out of.
Kurt, you're 5-1 lifetime against the Mets. Now, granted, the New York franchise is not the strongest this year as it's been in the past, but 5-1 lifetime indicates that you've always pitched well against this team. Is there a reason?
Well, this is a team I have confidence pitching against. You know, I feel like right now, obviously, they're not as strong club as they used to be, and I don't say that in a detriment to any of the players on this club, but the bottom line is there's some big players. Bobby Bo is out, and you know, they don't have a patented leadoff guy to get on base and steal bases for him. So, you know, really, if Eddie's the guy that you got to keep out of the RBI situations, and if you can do that, and I've had a lot of success against Eddie in my career, you know, that leads to getting some guys out on this ball club.
Eddie Murray you're talking about, right? One of the great hitters, but you have had success, huh?
Well, we figured out the other day he's like 0 for 22 lifetime with like 14 strikeouts, and it's something that I'm proud of. But, you know, I thought I was done pitching against him, and I am kind of sorry that I said something beforehand because I still got to face him, you know, 3 or 4 more times. But it's a team I have confidence in, and that we've played well when I pitched against them.
Kurt, best to you tonight, and wish you a lot of luck.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be back with tonight's starting lineups for the Phillies-Mets game in just a moment.
If you want your car done right, bring it to a place that puts its money where its mouth is. Bring it to Jiffy Lube, where millions of cars every year are covered by our pledge of satisfaction.
Everybody says they'll do the job right, but at Jiffy Lube, we guarantee it. One more reason, Jiffy Lube is America's favorite oil change.
We got experience at Jiffy Lube.
Hazy sunshine this afternoon, high close to yesterday's 96 downtown.
What if someone were to design a car about the size of a Ford Taurus outside, but with more room for people than Taurus or Toyota Camry inside? Someone did. What if someone were to design a car with safety features Taurus and Camry don't give you, like both driver and passenger side airbags standard, or an available integrated child safety seat? Someone did. And what if a prestigious magazine were to name this car Automobile of the Year? One of them did. Dodge Intrepid. This changes everything.
Did you know Texaco puts System 3 in every grade of gasoline?
System 3 gets high marks in every grade, which is a lot better than I ever did.
My dad says Texaco puts System 3 in every grade. I'm in the 4th grade.
That's why I always fill up with System 3. What do I look like? Don't say it.
When it comes to performance in cars both new and old,
With System 3, I can get great performance from Beacon Hill to Beverly Hills.
count on every grade of Texaco System 3.
Don't try it with any other gasoline.
I wouldn't.
Who asked you?
Now let's check the Sherwin-Williams starting lineup for the Phillies. Leading off in center field, Lenny Dykstra. Batting second, the second baseman, Mariano Duncan. Hitting third, first baseman, John Kruk. Batting cleanup, the third baseman, Dave Hollins. Batting fifth and catching, Darren Dalton. Batting sixth, playing in right field, Wes Chamberlain. Batting seventh, a rare start against a left-hander, Milt Thompson. Batting eighth, Phillies shortstop, Kevin Stocker. And batting ninth, Phillies right-hander, Curt Schilling.
Defensively for Dallas Green's New York Mets this evening, Eddie Murray is at first base, Jeff Kent at second, Jeff McKnight plays shortstop this evening, and Chico Walker is at third base. In the outfield, left to right, the Mets have Joe Orsulak, Ryan Thompson, and Jeremy Burnett. Todd Hundley does the catching for the Mets tonight, and on the mound, 6 foot 10 inch, 225-pound left-hander Eric Hillman. Hillman, a basic 3-pitch pitcher, sinker, slider, changeup. To be effective, he has to keep the ball down in the strike zone, and that's a big chore for a guy that's 6 foot 10. He has to get the ball out and get it down in the strike zone. He will occasionally, against left-handed hitters, drop down and throw from the side, but pretty much will stay up in that 3/4 overhand range. Over the top guy, and as I said, his forte is keeping the ball down. Doesn't walk a whole lot of guys, only walked 19 guys in 115 innings this year, but he has given up an amazing 141 hits, which has a tendency to tell me that when he gets behind in the count, he actually gives up part of that strike zone, brings the ball up in the strike zone, sinker ball straightens out. That's where he gives up a lot of hits.
Here's Lenny Dykstra to lead it off for the Phillies, batting at .305, the major league leader in runs scored with 132. Teak, I think a lot of people might wonder why a tall pitcher has trouble keeping the ball down. Is there an explanation?
Well, it's just a longer way for him to go. The sinker ball is a ball that you got to keep down in the strike zone. When you're 6 foot 10 and you're standing up on top of an 18-inch mound, that's a long way to get the ball down. You have to get it way out in front, get extended. The natural tendency, especially when you get tired, is to start to straighten up a little bit and not get that ball as far out in front when you release it.
Well, here's baseball's prime leadoff hitter, and he's now tied for the National League lead in hits as well. He has 175, and he takes a strike. Lenny Dykstra batting .305, as we mentioned, 3 for 10 so far in the series. Pitches inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Lenny Dykstra has done a terrific job of starting the game with hits. He leads the National League with 117 walks as well, so one way or another he's getting on. Here's a bouncing ball to Kent. Kent throws him out, and Dykstra is retired. 1 down here in the top of the first. Kent's been one of the bright spots for the Mets this summer. He has turned out to be a pretty good player. Here's Mariano Duncan. He carries a 14-game hitting streak, which ties his career high. He's batting .282 for the year, 9 homers, 63 runs batted in, is a career high. Duncan 3 for 9, including a home run off Hillman, who takes ball 1. By the way, that's Randy Marsh calling the balls and strikes tonight. Bouncing ball to shortstop. McKnight charges, bobbles, and safe at first. They'll have to score that an error. That's not going to keep the hitting streak alive. An error on McKnight.
This is a problem that has plagued the New York Mets all season long. Defense. They've had problems over the last few years, this year especially. And now the Mets, with such an injury-riddled ball club, they have guys playing out of position. McKnight, not normally the shortstop, bobbles a very routine play right there, so the Phillies have a base runner early in this ball game.
Stepping in is John Kruk, hitting at .315. He is 8th best in the league. John not hitting a whole lot lately, though. He's just 9 for 60, which figures out to a 150 average during that span. Topper, and it pops up and hits John right under the arm. 1 strike. Kruk from Charlestown, West Virginia. He has 103 walks. He's 4th in the league in that category. John's on-base percentage of .433 is 2nd in the National League. Taking a little extra time to recover from that ball hitting him. He is the most expressive of players, isn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't hide his emotions at all on a baseball field.
Kruk takes a strike, and it's 0-2. Kruk is 4 for 7 facing Hillman with 1 home run. Hillman's lifetime major league record is 3-9, and he is winless in his last 9 starts. During that span, he's 0-3 with 6 no decisions. Hillman has been used as both a starter and a reliever, and he also spent a stretch at Tidewater this year. Duncan is safe. Cento Italian Food Products rooting for the Phillies this season. Every Phillies home run, Cento donates $200 to the Philadelphia Child Guidance Clinic. Nutritional information can be found on all Cento labels. John Kruk strikes out on a 2-2 pitch.
First time around, Hillman gives Kruk a steady diet of breaking balls. Here again, the slider on the outside part of the plate down the way. John out in front of it.
That is strikeout number 50 for Hillman. He has pitched only 115 and 2/3 innings. So Kruk to the dugout for the second out. And here's Dave Hollins batting at .278. 17 homers, 83 runs batted in. I think the interesting thing is a guy that is as big as Hillman, you expect him to be a hard thrower to really blow you away, but he doesn't do that.
No, I talked to Mel Stottlemyre before the game, asking him about Hillman's velocity. He says, you know, he's in the mid-80 range, which is far from being overpowering. You think of 6'10", you think of a guy like Randy Johnson that is just very devastating with that awesome power, but Hillman not in that ilk. More of a very large finesse pitcher.
He and Johnson are the two tallest pitchers in Major League history, 6'10". Duncan is safe. Mariano has stolen 6 bases in 10 attempts. Very high, 1 ball, 1 strike on Hollins. Hollins 0 for 3 facing Eric Hillman this year, 0 for 4 in his career. The Phillies have seen Hillman previously twice as a starter and once in relief. He has no one-loss record against the Phillies. His ERA is 4.91 against the Phils this year. Foul back, 1-2 now on Dave Hollins. Hollins among the league leaders in runs scored. He's crossed the plate 95 times, and that's especially impressive when you consider he was out for 15 games this summer.
And probably was, everybody thought was going to be out for a much longer period of time. Came back from that wrist injury very quickly.
Low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. It was right here in Shea Stadium that he re-injured that hand on a ground ball. Phillies and the Mets playing for the final time this year. And the Phillies lead the season series 9-3, and they have won 10 of the last 12 going back to last year here at Shea Stadium. Dave Hollins leads the Phillies with RBIs on the road. He has more than any other member of the team, 49. Another bouncing foul, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes on Hollins. Eric Hillman getting this start for New York, only his 19th start. He's from Gary, Indiana. He's 27 years of age. Hollins on a bouncer to shortstop. McKnight shovels over to Kent, and the force out ends the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left. At the end of the half inning, Phillies nothing, and the Mets coming up.
What is a mountain man's natural environment? Let's explore. A mountain man enjoys peaceful surroundings. A place where gentle winds blow. And the beauty of nature is all about. Only here does the mountain man find true happiness. With a smooth bush beer or an easy drinking bush light. So, head for the mountains and find out how the true mountain man can make any environment a more natural one.
Boomer! What's wagging? Big 4 again. Usual number, straight. And box it too. 50 cents each way.
The Pennsylvania Lottery's Big 4 game.
Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
Don't forget to play both ways every day. You might be the lucky dog who wins.
This house is you, Boomer. And the owners are anxious to sell.
Here's the Sherwin-Williams starting lineup for the New York Mets. Ryan Thompson leads off and plays center. Todd Hundley bats second, the catcher. Eddie Murray, first baseman, hits third. Joe Orsulak is the cleanup hitter and left fielder. Batting fifth and playing third base, Chico Walker. Batting sixth, second baseman Jeff Kent. Batting seventh, playing in right field, Jeremy Burnitz. Batting eighth, the shortstop Jeff McKnight. Batting ninth, the left-hander Eric Hillman.
Defensively, the Phillies have John Kruk at first base. Mariano Duncan plays second. Kevin Stocker at short. And Dave Hollins at third base. Milt Thompson looks like he's going to be an everyday left fielder here for at least a little while until we find out what's going on with Incaviglia. Lenny Dykstra's in center. Wes Chamberlain's in right. Darren Dalton behind the plate, and on the mound, 26-year-old right-hander Curt Schilling. Curt's last start was this past Friday at the Vet when he won his 5th straight game, beating the Astros 6-2. In that ball game, he had to leave after 8 1/3 innings, got hit in the leg with a line drive off the bat of Eddie Taubensee, but we checked with Curt today and says that is absolutely no factor right now, no ill effects whatsoever.
Schilling's been hot, 5-0 in his last 11 starts, has not dropped a game since the 11th of July against the Giants. Right back near the All-Star game. Ryan Thompson hitting at .248. Pitch in for a called strike on Thompson. He's been a hot batter too. He has 7 hits in his last 13 at-bats. 9 homers, 20 RBIs for the Mets center fielder. Strike 2, nothing and 2 the count. On this homestand, Thompson is batting .467. He chased a high one. Schilling strikes him out on 3 pitches. Schilling is 7th in the league in strikeouts. That's his 155th.
1-2-3 by Curt Schilling. First 2 fastballs. This time on the third one, Ryan Thompson up out of the strike zone. Schilling had that fastball right by him. No chance.
So Thompson prepares to take a seat. Wondering about that at bat. And in steps Todd Hundley.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night.
That's it. Hundley, a .218 batter. He hits one in the air, but it's a high pop-up out in the left center field. A play for Thompson. 1 pitch gets Hundley. That brings up an interesting point, Teak. Which does a pitcher prefer, to get a guy on 3-pitch strikeout or get a 1-pitch pop-up? Huh?
If you're a starting pitcher and you're at the beginning of a ball game, you want the 1-pitch pop-ups, because the fewer pitches you throw earlier in the game, the more pitches and the more strength you have later on in the ball game.
He will now go against Eddie Murray, Teak.
But if you're going to get a strikeout, 3 pitches is the best way to do it. Don't waste any energy.
Murray at .278, 25 homers, has 89 RBIs, ranks him 9th in the league. Now, when we interviewed Curt before the game, he was talking about his success against Murray. The official numbers: Murray 0 for 11 against Schilling this year, 0 for 22 lifetime. That's domination by the pitcher right there.
Domination by the pitcher, but when you have a guy like Eddie Murray at the plate, you never take that domination for granted. You're just very thankful that you've had that kind of success. Keep trying to do what you've done in the past to be successful.
In case you missed the scores, the Cubs handed the Giants another loss today. The final was 3-1, and the Giants have lost 8 in a row. And so they now trail the Braves by 3. And in the American League, the Yankees lost today, routed by Milwaukee 15-5. So they trail by 2 over in the American League East. Certainly the Phillies will be keeping an eye on that Montreal at St. Louis game tonight. Kenny Hill to go against Rene Arocha at Busch Stadium. Two and 1 the count on Murray. 3 balls and a strike. Murray be looking for a job next year, so he's posting pretty impressive numbers coming down the stretch here.
You find players whose contracts are going to expire, they will continue to play no matter how poorly their club is going. Eddie Murray definitely in that category.
Murray needs 1 RBI for his 12th career 90-plus RBI season. It's a 3-2 count on Murray. In the air, but foul out of play. As you can see, we don't have a large crowd on hand here at Shea Stadium tonight. What with the start of the Jewish holiday and the fact that the Mets have been out of the race, and that goes back some time, why, this is not exactly a stellar attraction, at least as far as the New Yorkers are concerned. I'm sure you Philadelphians feel otherwise about this. Murray sends it up the middle and his first ever hit off Schilling. Sounded like he might have broken his bat, but he's got a base hit nonetheless.
Yeah, I believe he caught this ball out toward the end of the bat, snapped it, but was able to force the ball up the middle on the ground. Mariano Duncan playing straight away at second base. Just forced it through that hole between Mariano and the second base bag.
Pretty good left-handed batter stepping in now in Joe Orsulak, hitting at .288, 8 home runs and 32 driven in. That's in for a strike. Orsulak played last with Baltimore. The Orioles did not offer him a contract, and the Mets gave him a free agent contract for considerably less money than he made a year ago. 1-1. Orsulak hitting .348 off the Phillies this year. There's Murray at first. There are 2 outs. Breaking ball just misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. Orsulak has been troublesome for Schilling. He's 6 for 10, including a home run. Schilling 6-1 lifetime against New York, 2-0 this year. ERA 2.16 this season against the Mets. Caught by Duncan. Liner to Duncan for the final out of the inning. For the Mets, no runs, 1 hit, and they leave 1 at the end of an inning. 0-0.
Any professional painter will tell you that if you want results like these, you gotta know the tricks of the trade. You gotta ask Sherwin-Williams. Now, these are guys you can trust. They've got good paint, good price, good advice. Guaranteed. Want to know something? I didn't paint this house. The guy that lives there did. Hey, fella, nice job. This guy knows what the pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams.
Hi, I'm Neil Hartman. Budweiser and the Phillies want to send you and a guest to the World Series. Right now, be the 8th caller to 1-800-432-1745. And you'll win a Budweiser sports bag and a replica Phillies cap. All winners then qualify for the grand prize, an all-expense-paid trip to the first 2 games of the World Series in the host American League City. So call now and pack your bags, because with a little luck, you could be on your way to the first 2 games of the World Series. Compliments of Budweiser.
The Phillies look to flatten Florida when they play the Marlins Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, September 20th through the 22nd, all at 7:35. Then they're out to plot the Braves. Friday the 24th at 7:35, Saturday the 25th at 7:05, and Sunday the 26th at 1:35 when all fans receive a free Phillies poster and more on Fan Appreciation Day. Call 463-1000.
Whether you're 30 or 60 or even more, you can join me and some of the greatest stars in Phillies history as we live, learn, laugh, and play next February at Phillies Dream Week. Imagine a full week of baseball and fun on Clearwater Beach in the middle of winter, surrounded by Boa, Luzinski, Cash, and many more. It's truly a Phillies fan dream come true. For full details on Phillies Dream Week, call 215-938-1200. That's 215-938-1200. Space is limited, so you should call now.
Darren Daulton is leading off the second inning of this scoreless ball game. He takes a called strike. This pitch misses from Hillman. Darren with 99 runs batted in. He is 4th in the league in RBIs, a title which he won a year ago. The last left-handed Phillies batter to drive in 100 runs in consecutive years, Johnny Callison, back in the 60s. Woo. He's sitting right there.
It's about time that it's done again. Sure JC wouldn't mind.
Johnny probably watching our ball game tonight, rooting for these Phils. High chop off the plate. Can't get one over Hillman's head, and he throws him out. Daulton out on a chopper right back to the pitcher, 6'10" Eric Hillman.
We talked earlier about Hillman having to keep the ball down to be successful. So far he has done that. All the balls that the Phillies have hit, they have hit on the ground.
Chamberlain stepping in, batting at .277. A dozen homers and 40 RBIs in part-time play. Chamberlain's done a good job against the Mets. He's hit .320 off Mets pitching, including 3 homers. Breaking ball misses. Chamberlain has a home run off Hillman. He's 2 for 6 this year off Hillman. Deep to center field. Thompson back. He's got room though. On just in front of the warning track. Not quite to the track. Chamberlain's long fly ball is hauled in.
Straightaway center field, the biggest part of this ballpark, and Ryan Thompson with plenty of speed to burn back and catches that ball just short of the warning track very easily.
Now the other Thompson in the ball game, Milt, batting at .260. Pete Incaviglia out. He's going to be examined by Dr. Marone in Montreal on Friday, so a rare start for Milt against left-handed pitching. And speaking of rare, how about the Phillies facing left-handers 2 days in a row? That was a hard shot to McKnight, but he makes the play, and a 1-2-3 inning. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Go down quickly, and so we go to the bottom half of the second, scoreless.
The movies worth watching are on Prism this fall. Prism is a movie fan's best friend with Kurt Russell in Unlawful Entry, Jennifer Jason Leigh in Single White Female, the sizzling horror of Innocent Blood, Susan Sarandon in Light Sleeper, the historic grandeur of Christopher Columbus, The Discovery, Matt Dillon and Bridget Fonda in Singles, and Steven Seagal in Under Siege. If you want superstars, if you want blockbusters, if you want it all, you need Prism this fall. Call now and order Prism today.
Now appearing, a well-equipped Dodge Shadow for around $10,000. Spirit, the lowest priced 6-passenger car out there, around $12,100. Or own a Caravan, including air at no extra charge for under $15,100.
When good just isn't good enough.
Well, looks like you got a new pride and joy.
Well, it's not exactly new, but it's new to me.
And I see you're putting in super premium.
You bet. I saved every dollar I made for 2 years to buy this, so I'm giving it nothing but the best.
Nice car.
See what I mean?
So when good just isn't good enough for you, experience our best. Fly with the new superpower, Citgo.
Congratulations to Sam Minner of Philadelphia and Josephine Roth of Alamo, California. They're the winners of a 1993 Phillies autographed jersey. Sam and Josephine were the winning names drawn on our ALS autograph and auction party raffle before the game. To be eligible for the raffle, Sam and Josephine had to donate $250 or more to ALS charity. Our thanks to both of them for their donation, and our congratulations on winning the Phillies autographed jerseys. And Sports Channel and the Phillies thank everybody for their donations to this worthwhile cause. Chico Walker is leading off for the Mets here in the second. A bouncer to Duncan, and Walker is retired. We have a scoreless ball game in the bottom half of the second inning, and now with 1 out. Duncan makes the play. Caught a line drive to end the first inning for New York. Second baseman Jeff Kent coming up. 67 RBIs for Kent. He leads all National League second basemen in runs batted in. And he has 18 home runs, which is only 1 behind Robbie Thompson, who's the leader there. So they have to be pretty pleased with Kent, although, Teak, there was a time earlier in the year when they didn't think he was a very good fielder.
Had a lot of problems early on. Still not what you would consider an outstanding second baseman defensively, but at least, you know, on a club that has struggled so much with their offense this year, he has been able to contribute offensively. And, you know, when you're a club like the New York Mets that is just struggling for anybody that can contribute anything at all, Jeff Kent's a welcome addition.
Gets jammed here, and he loops one back over Kruk's head, and a base hit. And he's going to try for 2. Here's the relay to second. He's a dead duck. Out at second base as he tries to stretch a single to a double.
Big mistake by Jeff Kent right there. That ball just about 30 or 40 feet behind the infield grass. Kruk leaps, can't make the play, right away takes off and gets after the ball. Now you got to remember, John Kruk, a former outfielder, knows how to throw to the bases. He throws a strike to Stock, and there's absolutely no chance at all for Kent at second base. Good alert play by Kruk to pounce on the ball right away and not wait for Wes Chamberlain to chase it down. Kent out by a good 10 feet at second base.
Oh, that was a terrific play by Kruk. Base is empty, 2 out as John picks up the assist. Jeremy Burnitz is at the plate, low and in, ball 1. He's hitting .235, 10 homers, 31 runs batted in. Mets have had quite a few injuries. Of course, Howard Johnson's been out a good deal of the season. Bobby Bonilla is out now. And their pitching staff, of course, Brett Saberhagen is out. Doesn't look like Doc Gooden's going to pitch another game this year.
Tim Bogart, the shortstop's out. This is a skeleton crew right now for the New York Mets.
And Anthony Young, who's had an all-time loss record consecutively, is also going to miss the rest of the year. Out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Burnitz. Burnitz has a hit off Schilling this year. He's 1 for 3 off Schill. Out into right field, hit well, and the park won't hold that one. Burnitz with his 11th home run, and the Mets take a 1-0 lead. And you know how bad Jeff Kent feels now for getting thrown out at second base.
Yeah, this cost his team a run, but Jeremy Burnitz, his 11th home run of the season, 32nd RBI, and you can tell by those numbers that the majority of those RBIs have come on the long ball.
Getting congratulations up and down the dugout. That's the 22nd home run yielded by Schilling. The batter is McKnight. He takes ball 1. McKnight at .241. He has only 1 homer, 10 runs batted in. By the way, that's the first Mets home run in this series. Pop fly, foul, and out of play. Mets have not done a bad job with the long ball.
Yeah, a high fastball by Schilling. Got it up in the strike zone, actually probably out of the strike zone. Burnitz able to get underneath it and lift it over Chamberlain's head in right field. Hit that ball actually a little harder than the distance that it went. It was just hit so daggone high that it just couldn't go much farther.
McKnight gets himself a base hit out into center field. So the Mets have 3 straight hits. Kent single, Burnitz home run, and the single by McKnight to get the pitcher up there.
Again, the pitch by Schilling, another fastball up in the strike zone. Jim Fregosi looks on, watches his pitcher. Curt Schilling, as with most pitchers, has a better chance of being successful when the ball is down in the strike zone. When it's up in the strike zone, you want it up and out of the strike zone.
Hillman swings and misses, but you'd have trouble walking this guy, wouldn't you, Teak?
Well, this is a big strike, so you get it up above this strike zone, and Darren Dalton's going to have a little trouble corralling it. This is a very tall strike zone.
Hillman only 5 hits and 35 at bats. He hasn't had any hits since August 15th when he last faced the Phillies. Talking about the impossibility of walking him, he has not drawn a walk this year. It's not all that unusual for pitchers not to walk, but just thought we'd mention it. Chased a bad pitch and strikes out, but he's going to reach base. It'll be a strikeout wild pitch, and the inning remains alive. Boy, that's when you know things are not exactly going your way, when you strike out the batter and he reaches base.
And especially when it's the pitcher. Here's 0-2 sinker by Schilling. Dutch just doesn't get down to the ball. Play that he should have made, did not get the glove turned over, actually had the glove backward as he reached toward the ground. Should have been down blocking that ball with 2 strikes. Catchers are instinctively taught to block the ball, make sure it's in front of you. This one gets through Dutch to the backstop, and the inning's still alive for the Mets.
Down at second base is McKnight. Over there at first is Hillman. Ryan Thompson, the batter, he struck out first time around. Mets lead at 1-0. We are in the second. Thompson is the only other strikeout that Schilling has had tonight. Remember, he got him to start the game on 3 pitches, so Thompson now has seen 4 pitches, and they've all been strikes. Hits that ball a ton to the gap in right center field. Have to play the carom that just missed being a home run. McKnight scores. Hillman stops at third base. They've got a play on him. He's safe. And the Mets lead 2-0. A double for Thompson for the Mets' second run, and they nearly got Hillman at third.
See the relay here from Kevin Stockard. Dave Hollins at third base. Harry Wendelstedt in perfect position. Hillman uses all 6'10" of himself to get back in just before the tag by Hollins. Man that was 6'6" wouldn't have made it on that play. Hillman 6'10" just does get in.
And Schilling just had a visit from Johnny Padres. Phillies pitching coach went out to the mound to talk with him. Phillies not happy with this inning at all. And you can just say, thank goodness Kent was one of the outs, so there'd really be a lot of troubles here. Of course, the Mets would have another run. Now they got to get Hundley, second and third. 2 outs. This is really a key batter. You can live with 2 runs, but if the Mets were to get 4, that'd be tough. Hundley flied to left field in his first at bat. Baseball is a strange game. We mentioned Ryan Thompson had 3 pitches in his first at bat and took a seat. But in his second at bat, he's got an RBI double. The 2-0 count to Hundley. That's a strike. 2-1. Hundley has batted safely in 8 of the last 11 games he started, and his average during that stretch, .292. Schilling really wants to get him here. Strike. 2-2. That Montreal-St. Louis game is just underway in St. Louis. We'll keep track of it for you. Kenny Hill against Rene Arocha. Also, the Cincinnati-Atlanta game is underway. Jose Rijo against Kent Merker. Struck him out. So finally the inning is over. However, the Mets make it a good one from their point of view as they get 2 runs on 4 hits and 2 men left on base. 2-0 New York.
You've seen it before. The ones who run with the herd, and the one who always seems to run alone. You don't see him often enough, though.
Did you know Texaco puts System 3 in every grade of gasoline?
System 3 gets high marks in every grade, which is a lot better than I ever did.
My dad says Texaco puts System 3 in every grade. I'm in the 4th grade.
Of course. That's why I always fill up with System 3. What do I look like? Don't say it.
Visit your Texaco station.
I can get the tires rotated, the car lubed, and still get home in time for the game.
Mow the lawn.
For unbeatable System 3 gasolines and so much more.
Mow the lawn?
Mow the lawn.
When you work one job, grab a quick lunch, a quicker dinner, and move on to job number 2, how you gonna spell relief? That's a big relief you can feel, because Rolaids absorbs 47 times its weight in excess stomach acid to stop heartburn fast. So for millions, there's only one way to spell 100% relief. Rolaids spells 100% relief.
You'll get a great-looking Phillies poster free, compliments of Acme, plus plenty of fun surprises when the Phillies play the Braves on Fan Appreciation Day, Sunday, September 26th at 1:35. Reserve your tickets now. Call 463-1000.
The official 93 Phillies gift and souvenir catalog, courtesy of Kellogg's, is available. This catalog features all your favorite Phillies items, including jackets, jerseys, T-shirts, caps, and much more. Get the catalog free by calling the Phillies at 463-1000 and ask for a Phillies souvenir and gift catalog. There's Dallas Green, the skipper of these New York Mets, the 1980 manager of the Philadelphia Phillies, world champions. And they've given Eric Hillman a little something to work with here. 2-0 New York. Kevin Stocker leads it off. He's batting at .340. This is Kevin's 201st at-bat, so I guess he qualifies as a full-fledged big leaguer, wouldn't you think, Teague?
Well, he's become a full-fledged big leaguer with the Phillies because of the fact that he is an everyday player now. There is no rest for Stock the rest of the season, as has been the case for the last couple months.
Let me ask you something. He committed a key error here last night. Do you think the guys on the team went and talked to him about it and said, you know, forget that, put that behind you?
Well, I think the veteran players would, take an opportunity to go up to him. Maybe not last night, but maybe this afternoon when you get to the ballpark, say, hey, these things happen. You've done a tremendous job for us at shortstop. You're out there for your defense. Don't let one mistake rattle you. Just keep playing your game. Don't try to play above the level that you can play at. Just relax and do what you do best.
He blocked him. How about Hillman getting 2 runs in the inning and coming out and walking the leadoff hitter on 4 pitches? That's got to put some more gray hairs in Dallas's head if that's possible. A very patient at bat by Stocker, but really they were not exactly borderline pitches. And here's Schilling, and he'll be up there to bunt him along, and Kurt's a good bunter. He has 10 sacrifices this year. Eddie Murray walking over to talk to Hillman. Speaking of Schilling's batting record, he's hitting 164 this year and 164 lifetime. He came into the year 11 for 64, and he's gone 11 for 64. How about that? Foul ball, strike one. Now his first 67 at bats produced 4 RBIs. His last 67 produced just a pair. You got to look at third base coach Larry Boa, who's giving the bunt sign.
Chico Walker, the Mets' third baseman, way in on the grass. Now he's backing up a couple steps.
Going to make it tough to get it down. That's why Schilling is bunting it so tenderly, because he knows if he bunts it hard, he probably bunts into a double play.
Well, what he's done on the first 2 attempts is he's dropped the head of the bat down. He's trying to steer the ball over to the first base side. Obviously, Eddie Murray at first base can't get as quick a break. He has to hold Stocker on at first base, so the direction you wanted to bunt the ball was first base. Now with 2 strikes, if the bunt is indeed still on, you just want to make sure you get it on the ground.
Well, it's on. It's in the air. It's first base side. It's a good one. Hillman throws over to Kent covering, and Schilling did it with 2 strikes. Nice going.
So in the most difficult situation possible, 2 strikes, no balls. Schilling gets the job done, gets the ball on the ground. Hillman not able to get to it quick enough to make a play at second base. Only play he has is at first base, so even though he failed on the first 2 attempts, Schilling gets the job done, gets Kevin Stocker down into scoring position.
And the ex-Met, Lenny Dykstra, now comes up as an RBI man, not a leadoff hitter. He's 0 for 1 this evening, grounding out to second. Lenny's on-base percentage of .422 is 3rd best in the league and tops among all leadoff hitters. Against Hillman, he has 1 hit and 6 at-bats. John Kruk hopes he'll have a chance to bat this inning. A foul ball top. The Toronto Blue Jays, leading the American League East, have a 4-0 lead over Detroit. Playing in Detroit tonight, bottom half of the 3rd inning. Jim Fregosi says the pennant race starts on September 15th.
We are underway.
Indeed. Outside, 1-2 on Dykstra. Lenny having a truly outstanding year. and wants to keep the pressure on. I mean, he really has not had any cold streaks all year long. Bouncer on the right side, fielded by Kent. Dykstra is out. On the play, Stocker advances to third. But Lenny, I think, wanted a little more out of that at bat.
You're not looking to move the runner in that situation. With no outs, you're trying to get the guy to third base. With one out, you're trying to get the ball through in the right side, get that run home. So Lenny not successful. Stocker does move over to third base, so 90 feet closer brings Mariano Duncan to the plate.
Mariano is safe on an error by the shortstop McKnight, his first at bat. Hillman's going to use the windup to pitch to Duncan. Breaking ball just missed. Well, Dunk has a career high 63 runs batted in. He wants number 64 right here. Would get the team off the mat here and really give him a mental lift, trailing 2-0. Not far enough for an advance by Stocker. Hundley did not catch it cleanly, but it stayed right nearby. The Pirates are leading Florida 1-0. They're in the third inning tonight. Baltimore has a 4-1 lead over Boston in the second inning. On the ground to the deep hole, and the Phillies get a run. McKnight couldn't handle it. Stocker scores. It's a 2-1 ball game. Duncan safe at first.
For the second time tonight, Mariano hits a ground ball to shortstop both times. McKnight cannot come up with it again for the second time this evening. McKnight credited with an error, so Mariano has found the right guy to hit it to, and Jeff McKnight not able to corral it. So the Mets get a break in the bottom of the second, Dutch Dalton not being able to hang on to the third strike, turn it into an extra run. Now the Phillies get a break in the top of the third, capitalize on the error by McKnight.
And John Kruk is batting. Ground ball. It goes through. Duncan will stop at second base as Kruk grounds a single and the inning stays alive. That is the Phillies' first hit of the ball game. So they had a run before they had a hit tonight. Hundley goes to the mound to talk it over with Hillman before they square off here against Dave Hollins.
Kruk's ground ball through the right side. Mariano Duncan has to hold up for a second to let the ball get by him. You don't want to take a chance of getting hit with that baseball, so by the time Duncan holds up, has no chance at all to go to third base. Jeremy Burnitz, besides having power that we saw earlier, possesses a pretty good arm in right field.
There's a case of that error hurting double, because if he's not holding the runner, that ground ball would be caught, I believe. Here's Dave Hollins, first and second, 2 outs. Foul back. First time up tonight, Hollins hit a ground ball to shortstop, played into a force out. Mets lead at 2-1. We're in the third. Hollins at 277. Snap throw to first. Kruk dives back safely and just did get in. That was a pretty good throw by Hundley. Probably wished it were down just a little bit, but he did not waste any time getting rid of it.
And that's a set play by the New York Mets. Eddie Murray playing behind Hundley. Snap throw immediately. Murray is breaking on the pitch, figuring that Hollins is not going to hit the ball to the right side. He takes off, covers the bag. Hundley snaps it down there. Kruk alertly just gets back in.
1 ball, 1 strike.
That's not a play that happens by mistake. That's something that's set up before the pitch is ever thrown.
The 1-1 pitch gets him off the plate. It's 2 balls and a strike. Well, the Phillies once more have averted the shutout, Teak, and that's a season now. Tonight is the 162nd game in which they've scored a run. That's a year, a baseball year.
1 full year. Don't think right now that these Philly players are really concerned about tacking games onto that shutout record. They're worried about tacking wins onto the board.
Because they know that they won't win unless they do score, and more than one. Phillies seeking victory number 89 tonight. Should they get it, they will tie the Giants in the win column, and the Giants led them almost all year long. play from third base. Chico Walker throws out Hollins to end the inning. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Phillies get a run on just one hit. There was an error and 2 left. 2-1 Mets.
Every once in a while, it's a good idea to shake things up a bit. Turn over a new leaf. Put a different spin on things. Get a different perspective. And ultimately, make a change. At Prism, that time has come. A new look, a new sound, a new attitude, a new Prism. Coming your way October 1st.
This is the all-new 1994 Mitsubishi Galant. It has a longer wheelbase than the Camry, more headroom and hip room. Plus, the Galant gives you 11 more horses under the hood. But there is one place the new Galant is smaller than the Camry. At least $2,300 smaller.
Drive the new Galant at your Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Delaware Mitsubishi Motors dealer.
It's often taken for granted, yet it's as precious as the very air we breathe. It's called freedom. And it's what inspired Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield to create the new Personal Choice, a health plan that offers people the low costs of an HMO without asking them to give up what they value most, their freedom. Personal Choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
Phillies baseball on Sports Channel is brought to you by Busch Beer. With a break in the action, now's the time for all thirsty sports fans to reach for the one beer that goes down smooth as a mountain stream. Head for the mountains of Busch. By the Pennsylvania Lottery, a participating advertiser in Phillies baseball. Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvania. And by your local Quality Plus Ford dealer. Now's the time to save big on the best-selling cars and trucks in America during your Ford dealer's model year-end clearance sale. Andy Musser with Kent DeCulvey at Shea Stadium. The Mets have a 2-1 lead. And Eddie Murray will try to start something here. He got a broken bat single last time around, his first ever hit off Schilling. And that's in 23 lifetime at-bats. But Murray's hit was back in the first inning and did not figure in the scoring. The Mets got their 2 in the second inning. Schilling gets behind him 2-0. Schilling started out the game dominant. Fly ball down the line and left. Thompson with a long way to go. But he's there, and that foul ball is caught. Murray fouls out to Thompson. Next hitter is Joe Orsulak. He hit a wicked liner first time up, and Duncan, racing to his right, caught it for the final out of the first inning. Drops a bunt. Dalton's play. Got him on a close play. Orsulak is nipped at first. Good play by Darren Dalton.
Dutch bounces out from behind the plate, gets rid of the ball quickly. Very close play at first base. I don't think if they call Orsulak safe, there's a whole lot of complaint right here. Dalton does a nice job, a good strong throw, but I'm not sure if Orsulak's foot's not down before the ball's in Kruk's glove.
Yeah, there's a good chance he was safe. Now the batter is Chico Walker. He takes outside, ball 1. Walker out on a ground ball to Duncan, first time up.
Sometimes you get the call, sometimes you don't. This time I believe the Phillies got one.
Driven to center, but Dykstra coasts after it, meaning that Lenny expects to get it, and he does. Chico Walker out on a long fly ball, and down go the Mets 1-2-3. After 3, 2-1 New York.
Everybody, don't forget that Appreciation Day is coming up.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see. In mountains of Bush. Come on and head for the mountains of Bush. Beer.
Before you take another full-size pickup out for a spin, remember, not one of them offers four-wheel anti-lock brakes. That's about to change. It would appear truck designers have never enjoyed spending much time on the seats. And it seems neither have truck owners. That's about to change.
The Phillies look to flatten Florida when they play the Marlins Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, September 20th through the 22nd, all at 7:35. Then they're out to bop the Braves. Friday the 24th at 7:35, Saturday the 25th at 7:05, and Sunday the 26th at 1:35 when all fans receive a free Phillies poster and more on Fan Appreciation Day. Call 463-1000.
Sunday, September 26th at 1:35, the Phillies take on the Atlanta Braves, and it's Fan Appreciation Day, the final regular season home game of the year. And what a day to say thanks to all our for all your spectacular support during the year. There will be all the customary prizes and surprises, plus all fans will receive a great-looking poster to commemorate this memorable season. Compliments of Acme. Make plans to come out and say goodbye to the regular season. To order tickets, call 463-1000 or stop by the Center City ticket office at Mellon PSFS, Broad and Chestnut Streets.
The count on Darren Dalton, a ball and a strike as we move to the fourth inning. 1-1 on Darren, and the Mets have a 2-1 lead. Darren grounded one back to Hillman first time up. Now it's 1-2. Well, the Reds score first in that Cincinnati-Atlanta game. The Reds get one and lead 1-0. They're batting in the third inning in Atlanta. Hillman steps back. Dalton, Chamberlain, Thompson to bat here in the fourth. Phillies short a run. Hillman has walked one tonight, and it cost him. He walked Stocker leading off the third. You know, he recently set a Mets club record for not issuing walks. He went 38 2/3 innings issuing no walks.
Well, I mentioned Hillman normally with good control this season, 115 innings, only 19 walks. He's going to be around the plate.
Pop up. This one's in play. Murray coming down. Murray won some gold gloves over in the American League. He doesn't have a whole lot of range anymore, but he catches that foul pop-up for the first out of the fourth.
Yeah, Eddie Murray doesn't have the range he used to have, but he's still got the good hands. When he gets his hands on the ball, he usually handles it pretty cleanly.
Here's Chamberlain. West hit a deep drive to center field in his first at-bat, but Ryan Thompson caught it. The Montreal-St. Louis game has gone to the second. Neither team was able to post anything in inning number one. Again to center field. This one's not going to be caught. High off the fence. Chamberlain to second. He's got a double. Chamberlain doubles off the center field wall.
West, first pitch hitting, gets another one of those high fastballs from Hillman. This time drives it into deep right center field. Last time up almost straightaway center field. Thompson shades him just a little bit toward left center field, so the long run for Thompson, even with the good speed, not able to catch up to the ball.
Phillies lead the league in two base hits. That's their 266th. Chamberlain helping. Now Milt Thompson, the hitter, 0 for 1, ground ball to shortstop. Tying run at second with one out in the fourth.
Just saw a second ago Wes Chamberlain turning around checking the outfielders to see where they're playing them. All three of the Met outfielders have pretty good arms. Wes wanting to get an idea of where they're at, so if a line drive base hit is hit out there, that he knows whether it's right at them or off to the side, may factor into his decision whether to come around third base or not. And of course he will get help on that decision from Larry Boa.
Thompson playing because Incaviglia is unable to with that calf muscle injury. And the Phillies are concerned about Inky. He might be out for a while. We'll know more on Friday after Phillies team physician Dr. Philip Marone goes to Montreal and has a look at Incaviglia.
Well, you know it's stretch time, and you know it's important when the doctor is starting to fly around to check the players out.
That's right.
Normally they fly back to Philadelphia to see Dr. Marone. This time Dr. Marone's going on a road trip.
Yeah. Hillman gets that one by Milt. Strikes him out. That's Hillman's second strikeout.
In that zone we talked about, down in the strike zone. Again, the breaking ball down out of the strike zone. We've seen a couple times now, Hillman with that big frame, when he sticks that arm out, it's going to have a tendency to chase left-handers out of there a little bit. Kruk and now Thompson both, you could see the front side open up as they were hitting against Hillman.
Dallas Green elects to walk Stocker intentionally. Stocker was walked unintentionally last time, and it led to the Phillies' only run. They will pitch now to Curt Schilling. Coming into the ball game, Hillman had issued only one non-intentional walk in 27 1/3 innings, and the one that he issued tonight cost him.
And the timing was bad on that one. His club had just scored him a couple runs, and walks leadoff hitter, walks Stocker
on 4 pitches, right?
To lead off the next inning. Yeah, when you get that kind of momentum and your club has scored a couple runs for you, the last thing you want to do is walk the leadoff hitter, especially on 4 pitches. Especially with the kind of year that the New York Mets have had.
Now we've got first and second, 2 outs. We're going to see Schilling swing the bat. He's hitting at 164. He sacrificed first time up tonight. Schilling at 164. Little looper, but it's going to be caught by Murray. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. Go to the bottom of the 4th, 2-1 New York.
Major League Baseball Home Video presents baseball's funniest bloopers. Hey fans, you'll be bowled over by this highly revealing romp. Then we'll sprinkle in some bite-sized fun, just enough to tickle your funny bone. Now, if you want to sink your teeth into baseball's funniest bloopers, just call this number and order. Baseball's funniest bloopers is 35 minutes of laughter and a whole lot of Major League mess-ups. So pick one up today. If you're a rookie squirt, ask for help. Ouch! If you're a Major League squirt, grab a pen and paper. Any paper. To order for just $19.95 plus $4 shipping, send check or money order to this address. Or use your credit card and call 1-800-255-9200. That's 1-800-255-9200.
Borrowed a lawnmower, all he got was short grass. When Bob borrowed hedge clippers, all he got was nice shrubs. When Bob borrowed a ladder, all he got was red shutters. When Bob borrowed a hose, all he got was wet. But when Bob borrowed money, he got indispensable banking services. The Mellon PSFS Smart Accounts. The package accounts for people who borrow as well as save.
You'll get a great-looking Phillies poster free, compliments of Acme, plus plenty of fun surprises when the Phillies play the Braves on Fan Appreciation Day, Sunday, September 26th at 1:35. Reserve your tickets now. Call 463-1000.
The Navy-Notre Dame college football game is going to be played at the Vet this year, and you can see it on Saturday, October 30th. It's a 12:10 start. Here's the number for your tickets, 463-1000. This exciting college football game sponsored by Super Pretzels, Soft Pretzels, Herman's World of Sporting Goods, WOGL, and the Philadelphia Inquirer. That's Kent heading for the plate as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Mets lead it by a 2-1 score. Kent singled first time up, but he thought it was a double, and it was not. He was thrown out at second base by John Kruk. In the inning, Kent, Burnitz, and McKnight to bat. They were the ones that caused the trouble back in the 2nd inning. Schilling gets a breaking ball past him. Dallas Green took over mid-season. He hasn't made any improvement in the record this year, but Dallas has big plans for next year when he can control the club in spring training and when he can get the roster full of the kinds of guys he likes. Dallas says they've got some weeding out to do here in New York.
Yeah, don't be surprised if there's a whole lot of new faces on the New York Mets come '94.
The other guy responsible for the big changes is sitting just one booth to our right, Joe McIlvaine. Philadelphia's Joey Mack, who is the new general manager of this ball club. Struck him out. Third strikeout for Curt Schilling. Now Burnitz, who homered first time up.
Jeff Kent, 2 strikes and no balls, goes out of the strike zone, chases a very low pitch from Schilling down and away. I don't think, no matter what Jeff Kent did, he could have reached that pitch. Way down and out of the strike zone, a little over anxious.
The left-handed batting Burnitz takes low a ball. Burnitz hitting at .239. That was his 11th home run he hit, and the first homer for any Met in this series. Trying to hit another one. 1-1. Atlanta has tied Cincinnati. That's a 1-1 game. They're now in the bottom half of the third inning in Atlanta. These Mets are headed for Atlanta. They'll play the Braves over the weekend. The Phillies are headed for Montreal. Both teams have the day off tomorrow and start their series on Friday. 1-2. Breaking ball, it just missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Burnitz. And the count is full. #1 fan of Jeremy Burnitz, huh? 3-2 pitch. A kick save by Dalton as that ball came bouncing back, and he stopped it before it went out to the mound.
Hit off one of those pipes right behind home plate, came shooting straight back at the plate.
Gene Hart himself would have been proud of that stop. Whoa, look out. A screaming liner hit the opposite way, and those are dangerous. Struck him out. Foul tip. Schilling back-to-back strikeouts. 2 outs in the 4th.
Schilling throws Burnitz a fastball away. He fouls into the stands. This time comes on the inside part of the plate. Good location right on his hands. Big power hitters usually like to try to get their arms extended. Burnitz got his arms extended, but the ball was in on his hands.
In steps Jeff McKnight. He singled and scored the second Mets run back in the 2nd inning. One thing we have to say, Teak, insofar as Schilling's health is concerned, that leg that bothered him does not appear to be bothering him at all after that line drive by Taubensee. Strike.
Yeah, usually when you get hit in the legs, the first thing that you will notice with a pitcher is that they lose some of the power on their pitches because they're just not able to get that good firm base underneath them. Schilling throwing very hard this evening.
In the air to center, Dykstra cruising. He's got it in cruise control, and he makes the catch for the out, and down go the Mets in order for the 2nd inning in a row. After 4, New York 2, Phillies 1.
Where to find the mountain man. A mountain man can often be found on the trail of adventure, in search of remote watering holes, or weathering harsh climates. Most often, however, you'll find the Mountain Man wherever you find smooth bush beer or easy drinking Busch Light. So, head for the mountains and find yourself in the wide, open world of the Mountain Man.
Yeah, you're right, Judd. There's no beach traffic.
Easy. I went out. There's a Coke machine.
Man, I'm so hot.
Certainly are.
Hot as in sweaty.
Hey, so crank on the AC.
Air conditioning is for the weak, like yourself.
I'm sticking to the seat like yourself.
That
Please
dog is
don't.
moving faster than we are.
All you guys ever do is complain.
Your shoes are pretty.
Could someone please fan me?
No.
Coca-Cola, anyone?
Yay!
Thank you, Alan, for serving a purpose in my life for the first time.
Well,
You're very welcome.
Don't you have anything to fit me?
No offense, Mr. Jones, but you are a little on the small side.
I need more choices.
Harry, give me those genuine yellow pages. Look, choices. Italian, Greek, Chinese. You want more?
Those are restaurants.
That's right. You put some meat on those bones and come back and see us.
9 out of 10 use it.
Mr. Matterhorn.
The genuine Bella, Pennsylvania yellow pages from Bell Atlantic.
Are you losing weight?
Fifth inning here at Shea Stadium. The Cardinals have taken a 1-0 lead over Montreal. They're now in the third inning there. Cardinals 1, Montreal 0, and we will keep you posted on that one. Here it's New York 2, Philadelphia 1. Top of the fifth, Lenny Dykstra, he's 0 for 2. Both of them ground balls to the second baseman, Kent. Phillies have 2 hits, the Mets have 5 hits. Grounded foul, strike 1 on Lenny. Dykstra in the series, 3 hits and 12 at-bats. He's batted safely in 11 of the last 12 games. His average during that span, 365. Lonnie has set a career high in doubles this year with 39. 1-1. Lonnie watches it for a ball, 2-1. One more week at home for the Phillies. It starts next Monday night when the Marlins come calling. Braves next weekend. Here's a fly ball. There may be room to catch it down the right field line. Burnitz, and the ball actually came back a little bit. Burnitz, the right fielder, makes the play, and Dykstra is out. So Lenny so far unable to trigger anything here tonight. He is nothing out of 3, and Mariano Duncan tries next. Dunk tonight is officially 0 for 2, but he's reached both times, and both times on error by McKnight. Errors by McKnight, the shortstop. Hard hit ground ball, tries Chico Walker this time, but Walker up to the challenge. Duncan is out, 2 down.
Well, Dunk for the third time tonight tries to take a shot at McKnight, just not able to get it by Walker at third base to get it to him. Head him over working toward the hole. If it's working, keep trying it.
John Kruk stepping in. John 1 for 2. He has struck out and singled to right. Kruk batting at .316. John with a good eye. He takes a lot of pitches and walks quite a bit. 103 walks. He is 4th in the league. The Phillies, of course, have 3 players with over 100. He swung at that. Didn't look like he wanted to, but Harry Wendelstadt says call it a strike.
You're right, he didn't want to, but went way around.
Out of play. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes on Kruk. Bouncing ball for Kent. Got the in-between hop, but makes the play, and you're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Phillies go in order, and the Mets continue in the lead, 2-1.
Major League Baseball Home Video presents...
We're back!
Now it can be heard, the sounds of baseball. This is the baseball video that puts you on the field to hear the game as never before.
Base hit, we gotta take the lead right here. Take the lead. First inning.
You're gonna put him in jail?
I'm not gonna put him in jail.
Right in the batter's box, you never go. It up? No, I ain't saying him. Gee! The guy's standing in front of the base! Tommy, wait a minute.
Host Tommy Lasorda takes you behind the closed doors to reveal the secret strategy in team meetings and some Major League Clubhouse practical jokes. Plus, candid moments with today's superstars. Now it can be heard.
Yeah.
Do you want to order?
Yeah!
Well, to order, send check or money order to this address. Or use your credit card and call 1-800-255-9200. That's 1-800-255-9200.
Time is running out on Ford's factory authorized clearance. Save now on every #1 selling Ford at your Quality Plus Ford dealer, including a double rebate on Ford Taurus, the #1 selling car in America. Now get $1,000 cash back.
5 of the top 10 sellers.
See your Quality Plus Ford dealer and get your best clearance deal today.
#1 in America.
Hurry, Ford's factory authorized clearance ends soon.
Phillies baseball on Sports Channel is brought to you by Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic Company. Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side. The nationwide agent in Newtown is Paul Wayner. Mets batting in the fifth. Eric Hillman leads it off, and he struck out first time up, but he reached on a wild pitch. And that proved to be costly because that kept the inning alive, and the Mets went on to get another run. They are up by a 2-1 score. That's a pretty good golf swing there, Teak.
He's standing a little too close to the ball, though. How about hitters liking to extend your arms? When you're 6'10", you definitely want to extend your arms. You don't want to have them in against your body.
Wow, right into the Phillies dugout. Look out. Tommy Green almost got nailed in there. Ricky Jordan scattering. No balls and 2 strikes on Hillman. Slaps another foul out of play. Kurt Schilling has put them down in turn the last 2 innings. He has now retired 7 consecutive batters. There's number 8, his 5th strikeout as he strikes out Eric Hillman. I just shortchanged Kurt 1 strikeout. He's got 6 strikeouts.
Can shortchange walks, but don't shortchange strikeouts.
Really? Here is one of his victims, Ryan Thompson. He has struck out and doubled, knocking in 1 run. Strike. Funny summer for Thompson, Teak. They sent him back to Norfolk for a while. They were, they think he's a real prospect, but he just wasn't doing it there for a while. He came back a better player.
Well, last year when Thompson came up, he was touted as the everyday center fielder for the New York Mets for a long time. Just didn't work out early in the season. As with a lot of young players, needed that little extra time in AAA, needed that wake-up call.
He is called out on strikes, number 7 for Schilling. He has struck out 4 of the last 5 batters.
Good pitch by Schilling right here. Paints the outside corner. That pitch is good because of the pitches on the inside part of the plate to Thompson.
This looks like a replay of the first inning, doesn't it? Struck him out on that occasion, and he had that bewildered look. What is this? Hundley swings and misses. He has flied to left and struck out. Now, Hundley is a guy that they didn't farm out this year, but they did bench him for a time. He was the everyday catcher, and Dallas Green lost confidence in him, and he wasn't even catching very well, let alone not hitting, and he spent about a month on the bench. But he's back now. 1-2. Chased a high pitch. He swung at ball 2 and fouled it back. Got Bobby Bonilla up in the booth next to us here, paying a visit to Joe McIlvaine tonight. He's got that left arm in a sling. Had arthroscopic surgery on it the other day. Bouncer up the middle. Duncan bobbles. That's going to be a base hit for Hundley. Infield single. Hit number 6 for New York.
Mariano going hard to his backhand. I don't think even if he comes up with that ball, he's got to play at first base. You see right here, he's having to retreat, not only going across, but actually moving back away from the infield to get to the ball. Had he made that play, he was going to be in this same position. His weight was going to be going away, nothing to make the throw with, so no real damage done there.
He's a runner with 2 away, and here's Eddie Murray. Murray has singled and fouled out to Thompson, the left fielder. Murray is 1 RBI short of Tony Perez for 17th place on the all-time list. Murray has 1,651 RBIs in his career. That's amazing. Only 17 players in the history of baseball have driven in more runs than this guy. He did have some great years for Baltimore.
Well, he had some huge season with the Baltimore Orioles.
Well, so much so that they've retired his number.
But did not keep him around.
That's true.
Figure that out.
High fly ball. Going to be caught by Thompson. Milt puts it away, and the inning is over. For the Mets, no runs. 1 hit, they leave 1. And after 5, it's 2-1 New York.
Hey, have you been waiting all summer for the perfect time to paint? Well, guess what? Time's up. Because right now, Sherwin-Williams is having their perfect price sale. Weather Perfect Exterior Flat is only $10.99, and Style Perfect Interior Flat is just $8.99. The perfect price sale ends October 2nd, so now's the time to stop procrastinating and start painting. Hey, buddy, you missed a spot.
What does it take to be a mountain man? Do you need a big horse? Do you need a deep tan? Do you have to have a saddle? Do you have to have the gear? Well, the simple truth is you just gotta have the beer.
Bush beer, an easy drinking Bush Light. Have you got what it takes to be a mountain man?
What does it take to live a mountain man's life? Get smooth Bush beer, is a drinking Bush Light.
Inky, Izzy, The Wild Thing, Patty, Dutch, Dude, The Crucker, and friends. Request the pleasure of your company at Veterans Stadium in 1994. Season ticket plans range from full season to as few as 13 games. For more information, call 463-5000.
If you missed your chance this year, make sure you're on board next season with the Phillies season tickets. There are plans to suit any budget and schedule, from full season plans to just 16 games or 13 Sundays. Plus, there are always special benefits to being a season ticket holder, including options to purchase postseason tickets. Call now to get your name on the list for 1994 Phillies baseball. Don't miss out again. Call 463-5000 for information.
We move to the 6th inning here at Shea Stadium. Andy Musser with Kent Tekulve. The Mets lead at 2-1, and Dave Hollins will be the Phillies' leadoff hitter. Dave tonight 0 for 2, a pair of ground balls. Red Sox are making some noise, but Baltimore still leads them 4-3 in the 4th inning. Yankees were big losers today. That's a strike. Hollins bunted at it. Yankees losing to Milwaukee 15-5 to drop 2 games behind Toronto. Toronto leading Detroit tonight 5-0. Detroit batting in the 5th.
In the Yankee ball game today, Jim Abbott took a thumping. Inning in a third through 63 pitches, I believe it was. That's a lot of pitches.
Hillman misses with a breaking ball. It's 1-1. Hollins hitting .277. Leads the club, as we mentioned earlier, in RBIs on the road. Missed again, 2-1. Phillies have had their leadoff hitter on just once tonight, and he's the guy who scored. That was when Stocker walked, leading off the 3rd inning. Ground ball for the hole. It's a base hit. Hollins gets a leadoff single here in the 6th inning. And we'll see if the Phillies can turn this into the tying run now. Hit number 3 for the Phils. Darren Dalton 0 for 2, grounded to the mound, and a foul pop-up caught by Murray. Dalton getting in with a big hole on that right side because Murray will be holding Hollins. Hillman misses again, pitching carefully here. 2 balls and no strikes. Hundley thinks he's pitching too carefully.
Well, the Phillies need to put a little pressure on Hillman right now. In the 2nd inning, or excuse me, in the 3rd inning when the Phillies scored the run, the leadoff walk, a mistake by Hillman. But really, the Phillies aren't going to score unless McKnight makes that 2-out error. There hasn't been a whole lot of pressure on Hillman. He's in pretty much of a comfort zone right now. Need to put a little pressure on him, get him start thinking about, that this is not going to be automatic. Dave Hollins with the leadoff single, a good start.
Dalton hits it in the air to left field. Coming on is Orsulak, and going back is the shortstop McKnight. McKnight makes the play, and Dalton is out.
Sparse crowd here at Shea Stadium giving McKnight a hand. Finally catches one clean.
Yeah, well, we're here in Queens, but that's the Bronx cheer, right?
That's it.
So McKnight catches the pop-up. He messed up a couple of ground balls tonight.
So we've now established he's better on flies than ground balls.
Yes. Here's Chamberlain. West fly deep to center and doubled off the center field wall. Breaking ball for a strike. Working inside, Hundley sneaking in before the pitch delivered. 1 ball, 1 strike.
We mentioned last time around Ryan Thompson shading Chamberlain over toward left center field, now playing dead straight away in center field. You could draw a line from home plate through the pitcher's mound, second base, right out to the 410 sign, and it would go right between Thompson's legs.
One ball, 2 strikes. Eric Hillman, 3-9 lifetime in the major leagues, just 1-7 this year. But his team got him a couple of runs, and he has protected it. Chamberlain to center field, but another play for Thompson. A soft line drive caught by Thompson for the 2nd out of the inning.
So for the 3rd time this evening, West hits the ball to center field. He's got Hillman pretty well lined up. That time a little bit extended, but still able to direct the ball towards center field. But as we mentioned, Thompson playing straight away was hit right at him.
Milt Thompson bats now. Phillies left fielder has grounded to short and struck out. Hollins at first. There are 2 outs. The Houston-Colorado game is just starting. Greg Swindell pitches for Houston tonight, and Greg Harris is pitching for the Colorado Rockies. Low, 2 balls, no strikes. Phillies have left 5 on base tonight. Thompson misses, 2 balls, 1 strike. The Pirates have added some runs. They're ahead of Florida now, 5-0. Pittsburgh batting in the 6th. Ground ball headed for the hole, but cut off by Walker. Chico makes the play. Phillies are retired, and you're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, a hit, and 1 left. Going to the bottom of the 6th, 2-1 Mets.
The movies worth watching are on Prism this fall. Prism is a movie fan's best friend with Kurt Russell in Unlawful Entry, Jennifer Jason Leigh in Single White Female, the sizzling horror of Innocent Blood, Susan Sarandon in Light Sleeper, the historic grandeur of Christopher Columbus, The Discovery, Matt Dillon and Bridget Fonda in Singles, and Steven Seagal in Under Siege. If you want superstars, if you want blockbusters, if you want it all, you need Prism this fall. Call now and order Prism today.
The other day, these guys came to me and said, Kirby, how'd you like to be in a cross-training commercial for Nike? You wear the shoes, right? We could come film your workout. So I say to them, let me get this straight. You want to make a 3-hour commercial?
This is the all-new 1994 Mitsubishi Galant. Unlike the Nissan Altima, there's nothing small about the Galant. It features a longer wheelbase and wider track, more hip room, front leg room, and shoulder room. All this and dual airbags at a starting price of $14,020 means the Altima can't measure up to the new Galant.
Drive the new Galant at your Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Delaware Mitsubishi Motors dealer.
The last homestand of the year coming up for the Phillies. It starts Monday when the Florida Marlins are in town. 3 night games, all at 7:35. Followed by the Braves for the weekend. That begins on Friday, September 24th, Saturday the 25th. Don't forget Sunday the 26th. It's a 1:35 game, final game of the year, and that's Fan Appreciation Day. Here's the number for your tickets, 463-1000. Joe Orsulak leads off the Mets 6th inning. It's 2-1 New York. Orsulak is 0 for 2. Last time he tried to bunt his way on, Darren Dalton made a heck of a play to throw him out, although the replay seemed to indicate that Orsulak might have beaten the throw. Down the right field line, trouble if it's fair, and it is a foul ball. That was going to be at least 2. Orsulak missing by inches. Watch this.
Just barely foul. See the ball hooking.
It's foul.
About a foot. Only has to be a couple inches. They had plenty of room to spare on that one. Woo. Leadoff double is not what you want to have if you're Curt Schilling.
No, that's for sure. Get the leadoff guy, and it makes the rest of the inning so much easier. Still 0-2. Houston got a quick run. They lead the Rockies 1-0, still batting in the first. Schilling has struck out 7 batters, 2 each in the last 2 innings. Another liner, this one clearly foul. Big meeting in the AL West. White Sox 2, Kansas City 1. They're in the 2nd inning. The Texas-Cleveland game is underway. Rangers still very much in it. That's 0-0 in the 2nd. Bouncing ball, that's a foul ball. And Teak, what do you say about those Giants? I mean, they had the lead all summer long, never really had a losing streak, but when they had one, it was a beauty, and it really did them in.
Well, and it's a prolonged losing streak. You know, everybody questioned all year long about the Giants pitching. You know, how long was it going to hold up? Was it going to be able to hold together? I think everybody was surprised that it lasted for 5 months, but when it blew out completely.
Orsulak singles over Stocker's head out to left field. A leadoff single for New York. Hit number 7 for the Mets. You see any chance of them coming back?
I'll tell you, it's going to be very difficult because of the state of their pitching right now. They have a very tired bullpen. The starting rotation is in disarray. Trevor Wilson, Buddy Black, Swift, Burkett, they're all suffering. So it's going to be difficult for the Giants because of the fact that their pitching is in such poor shape right now.
This is Chico Walker 0 for 2 tonight. Takes high a ball. An inning is always tough when that leadoff man gets aboard. It just changes your whole focus. And the Mets, of course, can do any number of things because they've got the lead. It's 2-1 New York.
That's the problem with the leadoff hitter getting on bases. There are just so many options for the opposing ball club. You know, they can play the cautious way and bunt the runner up. They can swing the bats. They can hit and run, try to go for a bigger inning. They can do a lot of different things.
Chico takes a big rip.
The advantage strategically goes to the offensive club when the leadoff hitter gets on. Conversely, the strategic advantage goes to the defensive club when you get that first man out. Much more difficult to score after that first out is recorded.
That was Mike Cubbage, the third base coach, flashing some signs. Chico Walker has started every game in this series. He started the Monday game at second base. And the last 2 nights he's been the starting third baseman. Monday night they played a fellow named Butch Husky here at third base. And is he ever aptly named? He was in Double-A all year. Runner goes. Ball hit in the air to left field. Thompson should get it, though. And Orsulak was nearly to second, but he has time to get back. Walker flies out. That's the first out of the inning.
The Mets elect to bypass the bunt, go to the hit and run. Walker doing his job, getting the bat on the ball with Orsulak moving, but hit it right to Milt Thompson in left field, so no damage done. And a little bit of the sting now taken out of that leadoff base hit by Joe Orsulak.
In steps Jeff Kent. He has singled and struck out tonight. On his single, he tried to go into second and make it a double, and he was out. High fly ball. This is easy to be caught because it's so high in the air. Dykstra coming in. And that's 2 outs in the inning. So the Mets got their leadoff man on, but they've not been able to move him. Orsulak still at first base. Coming up now is Burnitz. Burnitz homered for the first Mets run tonight. Last time up, Schilling struck him out. Look at Schilling's grip.
Sets up with the split finger grip on the ball. Can obviously change to any grip that he wants to once he puts it into the glove. Most pitchers will do that. You'll start with the ball in the same position all the time, and then once you put the ball in the glove, then make the change in the grip to either the fastball, the curveball, slider, whatever it may be. But you always want to start with the same grip. If you would hang the ball back there in whatever grip you were going to throw the pitch on, the first base coach would have the opportunity to stand there and stare right at, see what we're seeing right here, could then relay to the hitter. So grip changed after the ball is hidden in the glove.
Now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Burnitz. Burnitz, incidentally, set a Mets club record, a rookie record, when he had 7 RBIs in 1 game. He did that at Montreal back on the 5th of August. He had 4 hits in that game, including a grand slam. Chase to high one and sends a lazy fly ball out into Milt Thompson land. That's the third out of the inning. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, a hit, and one left, and we've finished sixth with the Mets leading 2-1.
Every once in a while, it's a good idea to shake things up a bit. Turn over a new leaf. Put a different spin on things. Get a different perspective. And ultimately, make a change. At Prism, that time has come. A new look, a new sound, a new attitude, a new Prism. Coming your way October 1st.
The metal cylinder is secured and turned in a counterclockwise motion, causing the internal railing to rise and disengage. It's easy to make something as simple as opening a jar complex. The challenge is making the complex simple. But that's what we do at Bell Atlantic Mobile. We take cutting-edge technology and place it comfortably in your hands. Bell Atlantic Mobile. Advanced technology and people who make it mean something.
When my doctor said to start exercising, I knew I wasn't 25 anymore. But that's when I called Bill, my nationwide insurance agent.
Jim had some questions, so we did a nationwide care review. We talked about his financial plan, life insurance, disability coverage, even retirement.
Yeah, we covered everything.
It turns out Jim was okay just the way he was.
Insurance-wise, right?
Oh, right.
The care review from Nationwide, because things change.
Here at Shea Stadium in New York, Andy Musser along with Kent DeColby. We move to the seventh inning of our ball game, and it's still 2-1 New York. Jacob Brumfield hit a home run tonight for Cincinnati as their first run. And then Jeff Blauser came back with an RBI single. So that's a 1-1 game, the Reds and the Braves in the fifth. And St. Louis leading Montreal 1-0. A sacrifice fly by Eric Pappas knocking in the only run in that ball game. Here's Stocker. He has walked twice tonight, scored the only Phillies run. One of the walks was intentional. Hillman does not walk many, but he made the mistake of walking Stocker leading off the third inning, and the Phillies got an unearned run out of that. He really hangs in on a pitch, and that's why he's been hit 6 or 7 times already. Stocker thinks about bunting, takes the pitch outside. 2 balls and a strike on Stocker. Love to get him on. Schilling could then be up there to bunt, which he's done once tonight. In fact, that was instrumental as a part of the Phillies getting that run. Bouncing ball, deep short. McKnight. Safe. Stocker beats it out. He's safe. A slow, deliberate call by the umpire, Rapparano. Usually when they take a lot of time, they're going to put up the outside, but he took a lot of time and called him safe.
Well, I'll tell you who didn't take a lot of time was Kevin Stocker getting out of the box, hustled all the way down the line. McKnight having to go deep in the hole makes a pretty good throw to first base, but Stocker just hustling down the line, able to beat it out. So if there's going to be a slow part of the play, I'd much rather have it be Rapparano's call than Kevin Stocker moving down the line. It turns out to be another leadoff base runner for the Phillies.
And now everybody knows what Schilling's going to do, or going to try to do anyway. He did it first time up for his 11th sacrifice of the year. Last time up, he was up there with 2 outs, and he popped up a bunt, or popped up a full swing. How about the way Walker's charging from third? I mean, doesn't a pitcher have the option of taking the full swing if he sees a guy charging that hard?
Well, if a guy's charging that hard, you've got the option. But in this case, the most important thing for Curt Schilling is to make sure that he gets Stocker to second base. We saw the first time, able to get the ball on the first base side. He fouls this one off again trying to go to the first base side. He was able to get the ball on the first base side and get the job done. So now we're in exactly the same situation we were in the last time. No balls and 2 strikes. Schilling now with the job still. If again Jim Fregosi, and if he did it the first time, I don't know why he wouldn't do it again this time, elects to stay with the bunt. get that ball down on the ground, give Stocker a chance to get to second base.
When you're bunting with 2 strikes, you're less likely to go for an area and just try to get the ball fair. Trying to get Stocker leaving too early. Kevin's too smart for that. He's a very sound fundamental player. Schilling gets it down. Play goes to first. He does it twice with 2 strikes. 1-4 on the sacrifice again, and once more Stocker to second on Schilling's bunt.
And again with 2 strikes, Schill gets the job done. Gets the ball this time. Last time popped it out into the first base side. This time just got it on the ground, right back in front of the mound. By the time Hillman gets unwound on that mound and can make a move, Stocker with a good jump from first base easily into second. So 2 for 2 for Schill, even though he's insisting on doing it the hard way.
Phillies have 2 right-handers up in the bullpen. Brad Brink and Mike Williams are both throwing. Lenny Dykstra is the batter. Lenny is 0 for 3, 2 ground balls and a pop fly to right. 2-1 New York in the 7th. Lenny Dykstra, one member of the Phillies who has been in previous postseason competition and knows what all this September pressure is all about.
Yeah, not too many of the Phillies have been down the stretch before on a contending ball club, so a new experience for a lot of them, including a lot of the veterans on this ball club. But Lenny has been down that road before and has very successfully been down that road before.
Other members who have been, of course, would be Mariano Duncan, and then when you go to the pitching staff, you've got the likes of Danny Jackson and Roger Mason, David West.
But you look at Darren Dalton really hasn't. John Kruk.
You know, the guy that surprises you when you think about it is Milt Thompson. Milt's been around a while and he's been with some pretty good teams, but he's never been in postseason play. Incaviglia has not.
Phillies hopeful of remedying all those problems this year, giving everybody a little taste of postseason. It's the only place to play baseball in October is in postseason.
Well, now Lenny in a good spot here. It's 3-1. Trying to get a pitch from Hillman to drive in the tying run of this ball game. Popped him up. Chico Walker and the catcher Hundley. It's Hundley's play. Look out. Well, that was right up the chute. That was only about 10 feet fair in front of the plate. Hundley catches for the second out.
Play right in front of home plate. Hundley has the ball all the way. Walker comes in and then just pulls back at the very last second. Hundley never took his eyes off that ball. Once it went up, he had charge of that one all the way.
That's a big out for Hillman, and now he goes against Duncan. Mariano with a 14-game hitting streak, but not extended tonight. He is 0 for 3, reaching twice on errors and rounding out to third his last time up. Outside, ball 1. Duncan swings and misses at an off-speed breaking ball. 1-1. Well, you can see Dunk look bad on one swing and then come through and rip a line drive on the next one. We've seen that a lot this year. Curt Schilling behind in the game, 2-1. A 1-2 pitch. Way out in front. Stocker is at second base. There are 2 outs. Stocker has scored the only Phillies run tonight. He'd like to come around and score another one and tie this game.
Throughout this season, we've seen so many times Phillies with those clutch 2-out hits. One by Mariano Duncan right here would be huge.
Line drive. That's an extra base hit. It gets beyond him. The game is tied. Duncan's got an RBI double, a 15-game hitting streak, and a 2-2 tie.
Well, huge you ask for and huge you get. Mariano Duncan with a fastball away from you. Inside outs it down in the right field corner. Able to sneak it by Burnitz into the corner. Duncan easily gets into second base. Decides to stay there with 2 outs. No use taking a chance. Any base hit by John Kruk is going to score him from third base. So he holds into second base. Drives in the tying run and is in position now to be the go-ahead run. Asked for 2-out lightning. Got a little bit.
Really?
Like to see a little more.
And Kruk's the man. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Here's the pitch on the way to John. Base hit. Here comes Duncan. He'll score. The Phillies take a 3-2 lead in the 7th. John Kruk with his 76th run batted in.
Should have spoken up a little sooner.
The Phillies, with just 6 hits in the ball game, bunch 3 of them here in the 7th to take the lead.
And the timeliness of these base hits is what's really important to the ball club. They've been struggling the last couple days to score runs. Duncan gets a base or a double down the right field corner. Kruk, first pitch hitting, lines it into right field, gets his job done, passes the responsibility on. Now headed to Dave Hollins with 2 outs.
For the first time tonight, the Phillies have the lead. Hollins watches a breaking ball. There is no action in the New York bullpen. The bad news is Montreal has tied St. Louis. That's a 1-1 ball game, but we can live with that. They are in the 5th inning, by the way.
Take care of business here first.
Boy, that's for sure. Hop up. This should be caught to end the inning. Walker puts it away, and it's over. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. 2 runs on 3 hits and 1 left. 7th inning stretch, 3-2 Phillies.
The superstars of Eastern Championship Wrestling are coming to Sports Channel. Starting in April, you'll have a ringside seat for all the slams, the crashes, and the pure athleticism that is the ECW. Eastern Championship Wrestling every Tuesday at 6 p.m. starting April 6th only on Sports Channel. Eastern Championship Wrestling. It's not for everyone.
Making it to the pros takes a certain level of excellence, the experience to get the job done right, and a reputation for quality. Like top quality belts from Gates, the one thing people overlook most on their cars is the belts. Remember to have your belts checked regularly and insist on quality Gates belts from CarQuest. So for the best possible performance, install what the pros install. CarQuest. Welcome to the pros.
Number 1 in America.
Time is running out on Ford's factory authorized clearance. Save $1,300 on the #1 selling Ford F-150. Choose from a large selection of XLTs, 4x4s, 4x2s, and super cabs.
5 of the top 10 sellers.
See your Quality Plus Ford dealer and get your best clearance deal today.
Number 1 in America.
Hurry, Ford's factory authorized clearance ends soon.
Hi, I'm Dick Vermeil with a Blue Cross Blue Shield health tip. What is the recommended daily allowance for sodium? Adults should keep sodium intake between 1,100 to 3,300 milligrams daily, or about 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Those on a salt-restricted diet may need even less. Check with your doctor.
This weekend, the Phillies are playing the Montreal Expos in a very big series in Montreal. You'll see all 3 ball games on PHL 17 at 7:30 both Friday and Saturday, and at 1:30 on Sunday. McKnight will lead off for New York. Ced Landrum has moved into the on-deck circle to pinch hit for Hillman. As we go to the bottom half of the 7th inning, the Phillies now on top by a run in a 3-2 ball game. McKnight 1 for 2. He scored the second Mets run. They've got left-hander Pete Shurik up in their bullpen. Schilling pitching with a lead now. Is he going to change his approach any? There's Landrum. He'll pinch hit.
He shouldn't. Ever since that second inning with the problems that the Phillies had in the second inning, Schilling's been throwing the ball well, so program should stay the same. McKnight leads off with a single to right field.
Well, that's his second hit of the ball game. He's at first as Landrum comes up. Landrum hitting at 188, no homers, 1 RBI. He has 3 pinch hits. Foster down in the Phillies bullpen.
I think he's just walking around. He's going to sit down now. Some other action starting down there.
Here's Landrum. Landrum, 29 years of age, from Butler, Alabama. Played at Norfolk this summer, batted .291 with the Tides. They brought him up on the 13th of August.
David West and Larry Anderson up in the Phillies bullpen. There you see him.
Landrum gonna bunt, gets it down. Schilling fields, Duncan is there, and the sacrifice gets McKnight to second base. One out, tying run at second. Now the top of the order. Ryan Thompson, he's 1 for 3 tonight. That was an RBI double in the second inning. That knocked in the Mets' second run.
Joe Ursulak with a leadoff single in the 6th inning. Curt Schilling able to strand him at first base without too much trouble. 3 fly ball outs. Now here with the leadoff single by McKnight in the 7th. He's moved along by Landrum to second base, so the job a little more difficult now because the Mets did get something out of the second hitter in the inning.
Fouled it right off the end of his bat. Strike 1 the count on Thompson. There's Shurik. We mentioned that he was up, and he will be facing the Phillies when they bat in the 8th.
You know, thinking back, I don't think Ryan Thompson has seen a ball all night. First time up, struck out on 3 pitches. Hit the second pitch for a double in the second inning, struck out on 3 pitches in the 5th.
Time called, runner at second base here, and Dalton and Schilling having a little difficulty here.
Appears as if Curt wasn't real sure about the signs they were used. Make sure, go out and make sure that you know what's going on. Not a time for miscommunication right now between the pitcher and the catcher. Jim Fergosi's club in front, but not exactly what you would call a comfortable lead. 1 run here in the bottom of the 7th inning, so Fergosi's up on his feet.
Oh, he swung at a very high pitch, and he did go around, too. That was a bad swing by Thompson.
That pitch reminiscent of the one that he struck out on in the 1st inning. Way high up out of the strike zone.
Oh, and inside, too.
Thompson has seen all strikes all night long, just assumed that he was going to see another one, so he started swinging at it.
Dalton goes outside. This time Thompson does not swing. The attendance at Shea tonight, 18,632. Believe it or not, that's the largest crowd in this 3-game series by about 400. Way up. Won't go for that one either. Cincinnati has taken another lead on Atlanta. It's 2-1 Reds. They're in the 6th inning in Atlanta Fulton County Stadium tonight. They had led 1-0 on Brumfield's home run until the Braves tied it. Montreal St. Louis still locked in a 1-1 tie. Cardinals batting in the 5th. They have a game tomorrow night. They didn't play Monday, so their series extends tomorrow while the Phillies are off. Chases one and strikes out. Schilling has struck out Thompson 3 times tonight. Number 8 for Schilling.
Again, the high fastball up out of the strike zone. Thompson insists on swinging at it, and if he's going to keep swinging at it, Schilling's going to keep throwing it.
Schilling's career high in strikeouts is 9. He's done it 3 times this summer, and he's 1 away right now. The hitter is Hundley.
More importantly, he's 1 out away from getting out of this inning.
Hundley got an infield single his last time up there. He was one of his strikeout victims tonight in the 2nd inning.
At this point in time, any out is a good out.
Hard ground ball, base hit. McKnight comes around 3rd. He scores. We have a tie game. Hundley singles in McKnight for the tying run, 3-3. So the Mets getting a leadoff single on a sacrifice are playing this like it's a big game for them too, and they're doing a terrific job representing the NL here against the Phillies tonight.
Good execution by the Mets. The sacrifice moving McKnight, who got the leadoff single to second base, and then Hundley again was one of those timely 2-out base hits. He didn't hit it hard, but he hit it in the right spot through the right side of the infield.
That brings Eddie Murray to the plate. He's 1 for 3 tonight, a broken bat single, first time up. Waves and misses. Murray in his career is 1 for 25 off Schilling. That broken bat single tonight. Outside, it's 1-1 on Murray. Murray batting at .278. Curt Schilling gave up leadoff hits 2 innings in a row. Got away with it last inning, as Teak mentioned, but did not survive it this time. 2-1. Dalton going to say something to him. Is he overthrowing, Teak?
Yeah, those fastballs up out of the strike zone. We saw a couple of them to Thompson. Now we just saw one to Murray. Usually it means that the pitcher is overthrowing, getting his body way out in front, the arm not able to catch up. Also, late in the ballgame, you have to be conscious of that now because fatigue is starting to set in. So be very conscious of getting the ball out in front so you can get it down in the strike zone.
Murray swings through it. It's 2-2. Cincinnati has added to its lead, Teak. They lead the Braves now 3-1 in the 6th inning. That's high. We've got a full count here. So that means that the runner Hundley at first will be off with the pitch, an advantage if the ball is gapped somewhere. Fans are starting to scurry. Do we have some rain coming here tonight?
There's a couple umbrellas going up.
Rain was in the forecast. Down the left field line, foul out of play.
See the rain falling there.
Thunderstorms predicted for the New York area tonight, and we're seeing one right here. Back through the middle. Base hit for Murray. That's going to chase Hundley to third base as Murray gets a hit. Look out for the relay, and Murray's halfway between first and second, but there's nobody covering first, so he's safe. The Mets with 3 hits in the inning.
Eddie Murray takes a wide turn at first base, but not a problem because John Kruk over in the cutoff position for the throw from center field. Nobody covering first base. It was the vacant base. Now we were talking about huge hits for the Phillies last inning. Need to get one of those huge outs right now. Joe Orsulak at the plate.
Orsulak, a very good hitter. Tonight he's 1 for 3. He singled his last time up last inning. 3-3 ball game, a game in which the Mets have out-hit the Phillies 10-6. The most hits Schilling has given up in any game this year was 11, July 1st in St. Louis. That was that ball game where he lost 14-5 and got knocked out in the 3rd inning. Time called. Orsulak takes a strike. It's 1-1 on Orsulak. He was a real good pickup for the Mets this year. He's one of those guys who has been in a platoon situation most of the summer. But unlike almost all of his teammates, he hasn't lost any time to injury this year. Not too many Mets can say that. Fouled away, and it's a ball and 2 strikes on the left fielder. Well, when the Phillies go to Montreal on Friday night, it's Ben Rivera against Dennis Martinez. On Saturday night, Tommy Green will go against Dennis Boucher, the young left-hander. And Sunday afternoon, Danny Jackson faces another rookie, Kirk Reeder, who is 8-0. Orsulak strikes out. Got him on a high, hard one. However, the Mets tied the game, 1 run, 3 hits, and 2 left on base, and it's 3-3 after 7.
Do Texaco food marts really have everything?
Oh, they have gum, cheese, candy.
Many reasons I come to Texaco.
Chips, cereals, nice people.
There are many reasons.
You want it, they got it. If they don't have it, you don't need it.
And that candy that pulls apart like that.
Did I skip something?
Visit your Texaco station and food mart for unbeatable System 3 gasoline.
Pop comes here for System 3, and I come here for Pop. Right, Mom?
And just about everything else.
I'd recommend it to anybody. And I would, too.
What? Oh, guard dog. Oh, very scary. Finally, the good stuff.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
It's often taken for granted, yet it's as precious as the very air we breathe. It's called freedom. And it's what inspired Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield to create the new Personal Choice, a health plan that offers people the low costs of an HMO without asking them to give up what they value most, their freedom. Personal Choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
Phillies baseball on Sports Channel is brought to you by Busch Beer. Hey, Phillies fans, remember, it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you enjoy the game. So always reach for the smooth Busch Beer or easy drinking Busch Light. By your local Dodge dealers, come in today because we know how to help. And by Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change. The Mets go to another left-hander. Pete Schurik comes in the ball game now. It is a tie game, 3-3 as we move to the 8th inning. And here is Pete Schurik.
Schurik making his 37th appearance of the season, 3 wins, 10 losses. has no saves and a .632 earned run average. Over those 37 appearances, 15 of them were starts. He was in the rotation earlier in the year, but now has been moved to the bullpen by the New York Mets, working almost exclusively out of the bullpen at this point in the season.
And that little brief shower that we had here appears to have stopped. And we continue here in the 8th inning. Might still be coming down ever so slightly, but not as heavy as it was. Dalton tonight is 0 for 3, and it hasn't been a good 0 for 3. He's hit a ground ball to the mound. He fouled out, and he popped up. One and one. Dalton batting at .260, 1 RBI away from the century mark, and that particular shot there makes it look like it's pouring. And there's another ball in the air. McKnight, the shortstop, set to play it, looking right up in the rain with glasses on, but he stays with it. He needed some windshield wipers there. And now Chamberlain will bat. He's 1 for 3 tonight. All 3 times up there he's hit the ball to center field. And his double, in fact, was off the center field fence. Sure, he gets a curveball over for a strike. Tigers coming back on Toronto. Jays still lead it, but it's 5-4 Toronto in the 7th. Boston has taken the lead on Baltimore 6-4 in the 5th. White Sox 4, Kansas City 3 in the 4th inning. This time the curveball misses, 1-1. Chamberlain drying off the bat. Two and one. Pete Sherrick got his first major league win against the Phillies. That was on April 24th back in 1991. Outside, ball 3, 3-1. April 9th of that year, he made his major league debut against the Phillies. His record against the Phils lifetime, 3 wins, 2 losses. Foul ball and a wicked liner. The count is full on Chamberlain, batting with the bases empty and 1 out in the 8th.
Now the rain here at Shea Stadium picking up considerably.
Yeah, they're probably not going to be able to play too long. We've got a natural grass and dirt field here, as you know. Base hit for Chamberlain. West gets a 1-out single. Phillies hit number 7 in the game, and they're first off Sherrick. This field drains very well, but they don't want to get the dirt part of it gummy. It can sustain fairly hard rain, and then you can pick it up afterward and play. But it's tough if the dirt part gets gummy. And I believe they're going to put it on. So at 9:48, we've got a rain delay here at Shea Stadium. Final meeting of the year between these two teams. It's a tie ball game, so they'll wait forever to finish it. And I don't think we have anything to worry about because only thunderstorms were forecast for the area. I don't believe it's a storm that's going to move in and stay here.
Yeah, the forecast that I saw this afternoon was just for intermittent showers. So this should be a shower that would pass by, may last for a little while, but Shea Stadium ground crew doing a job trying to get this tarp out on the field as quickly as possible, get the infield covered. Of course, the most important part, the outfield, the grass surface, not a problem whatsoever. All kinds of drains out there and everything else, but the dirt surface is what you really worry about.
At Veterans Stadium, of course, we just have the cutouts, so they quickly come out and put a tarp on the cutouts and then put the big one on. But here, you got to worry about that dirt part, as Teague says. So the big one comes out, in two pieces, which is a whole lot easier to handle than the single tarps.
Especially the second or third time around in the day when the ground crew has to put that baby on 2 or 3 times, it can get real heavy. So they're definitely glad it's a 2-piece tarp.
It is still raining, but it's not raining as hard now as when the signal came to stop play. So we have a 3-3 tie in the 8th inning here at Shea Stadium as the tarp comes out. And we mentioned earlier that both teams have an off day tomorrow. So they can wait and wait and wait and play this game tonight. If absolutely necessary, of course, they could play the game tomorrow, but I don't think that's in the offing here. I'm sure that at some point the rain will stop long enough that we could play a couple of innings and settle the issue tonight. Teak, in a rain delay, what's basically the cutoff time for a pitcher insofar as coming back into a ball game?
Well, it's really an individual thing. I think at this point in time, if you're looking at Curt Schilling, he has pitched 7 innings so far, and because of the number of strikeouts, the 9 strikeouts, has thrown a lot of pitches. So I think Jim Fregosi has got what he wants to out of Schilling. If this delay is at any length at all, I would not be surprised to see him go to the bullpen because we noticed last inning the pitches by Schilling starting to come up in the strike zone, talking about tiring. That already was a factor, and then now, with the addition of a delay on top of it, allowing him to tighten up even more, the decision is usually pretty easy. If it's a real quick 5-minute one, then probably Schilling could go back out there. But I think a rain delay of any duration at all, and we will have seen the last of Curt Schilling for the evening.
Let's take a quick look at the scoreboard. Cincinnati 3, Atlanta 2 there in the 7th inning, and Montreal has taken a 4-1 lead over the Cardinals in the 6th inning in St. Louis. Here it's 3-3 in the 7th, and now let's enjoy cross training with the pros.
Hey, this is cross training with the pros.
I love this place.
That's a Boomer Esiason fastball coming at you. You catch it. It's not an exercise with me show.
Ready, set, go.
I'm halfway. Go. What could you possibly do differently on your off day than this?
I don't come to the beach.
How do the pros work out, and how can that help my workout?
Yeah, you just
make the mean faces and stuff. And this is a Giardelli.
This is a Giardelli.
Yeah, but if it's here, then the ball has no choice but to go down. So,
ready? Go. Today's guests are pro quarterback Boomer Esiason, gold medal skier Donna Weinbrecht, volleyball player Karch Karai, Ironman Mark Allen, and NBA point guard Pooh Richardson. All that and more on Cross Training with the Pros.
Cross Training with the Pros. Brought to you by the people at Nike, who encourage you to just do it.
Hey, mister, you want to play?
Yep.
Emma?
I ain't getting that.
He can get his own ball.
Mister, don't you got a football game to go to?
Mixed nuts never give you enough of your favorite nuts, but new Fisher favorites are all favorites. Pecans, almonds, peanuts, lightly coated with luscious flavors. Toffee, honey glaze, praline, plus large whole cashews, so...
That's my favorite.
That's right.
No, that's my favorite.
That's right. Every nut is your favorite. New Fisher favorites.
It's Fisher flavor, it's just plain nuts.
The superstars of Eastern Championship Wrestling are coming to Sports Channel. Starting in April, you'll have a ringside seat for all the slams, the crashes, and the pure athleticism that is the ECW. Eastern Championship Wrestling every Tuesday at 6 p.m., starting April 6th only on Sports Channel. Eastern Championship Wrestling. It's not for everyone.
Play in the Volleyball Blast, the world's largest volleyball tournament. Call now to play in Atlantic City, August 28th and 29th. Each player gets a free tank top and 2 free tickets to the Franklin Institute. 40 separate teenage and adult divisions. You play against teams your own age and ability. To play, call now or get an entry form at Rite Aid stores or Superfresh or in the press of Atlantic City. The Volleyball Blast, sponsored by Powerade, Prism, Boss 97, and WDRE, and televised on Sports Channel.
Hi, I'm Keith Cedro, and welcome to Cross Training with the Pros. These days, everyone is doing some kind of exercise. You might be running, or swimming, or lifting, or playing your favorite sport. No matter what your sport or workout is, you can improve your performance and your fitness just by combining different forms of exercise. That's what cross training is, and no one understands that better than the pros. I've been a strength and conditioning coach for professional athletes, and people have always asked me, hey, how do the pros work out, and how can that help me? So we're going to visit with some of the world's greatest athletes, and you'll see just what it takes for them to stay on top and how it might help you. Let's start out by following New York Jets quarterback Boomer Esiason. We'll go through his daily off-season training routine, along with his former Cincinnati teammate Dave Remington and Buffalo Bills defensive lineman Mark Pike.
Homer. Yo, Keith, how you doing, brother?
Good to see you.
What's happening?
Thanks for having us in. Dave Remington?
Dave Remington.
Thanks.
Keith. Mark Pike.
Mark Pike. Morning. Hey, thanks for letting us in your facility. Hey, Boomer, NFL quarterback, this is a little early for me, huh? 7 o'clock in the morning?
Hey, you know, you got to beat him to the punch, you know what I'm saying? The older I get, the earlier I get up, and the earlier I got to get started.
Is that the noises I was hearing? It says knees and ankles?
It's a cracking body right now.
So we're going to follow through your workout. Dave's going to put you through.
Right.
And so we're doing a little stretching now before we start?
7 o'clock in the morning, if you don't stretch, forget about it. You can't get anything.
Get a little oil in the engine going.
Exactly. I figured I woke up about 10 minutes ago. So.
Do you find it, the more you progress in your career, the stretching becomes more important now for you?
Well, I was talking to Dave the other day, and we were talking about how when I was 26, 27, and 28 years old, and Dave used to be with the Bengals with me, I would just show up at training camp and get in shape that way. You know, I'd play a lot of golf in the off season, wouldn't do anything. Mm-hmm. But now, all of a sudden, now that I'm 32 years old, I feel like that I got to keep it going. And it's important to keep it going.
This is basically going to extend you then?
Well, I'd like to hope that it was going to, you know, would extend me at least another 4 to 5 years. You know, I see guys like Phil Simms and Joe Montana playing until they're 37, 38 years old. So there's a good possibility, as long as I don't get any serious injuries, that I can make it that far as well.
Make it that far? Boomer's already played 9 NFL seasons, been in 3 Pro Bowls, 1 Super Bowl, and passed for more than 25,000 career yards. Your typical quarterback god, right? But remember, we only see those gods work 1 day a week during the season. The rest of the time, even superstars like Boomer Esiason work out as mere mortals. The competition and the teams may change, but for a pro like Boomer, one thing always remains the same: hard work.
All right, man.
We got one ready.
Get it on.
Dave, you got Boomer doing some leg presses to start with?
Well, yeah, he really likes the leg sled better than the squats, but, you know, I force him to do squats every once in a while just to change up a little bit. But he really likes us a little more comfortable on his back and his legs.
Kind of moderate, heavy?
Yeah, he
How
can
many
change his
reps
position.
are you going to do?
He's going to do 8. I hope.
I'll do 8. You know, and don't ask me why I do these things either.
Boomer, you're up, man.
I think I do it because it's very comfortable. You know, it's one of those things in the morning where you're in a machine and you just go and it's nice and easy.
Come on.
Double up. You're the man.
Now we go over the shoulders. Thank goodness.
Dave, we're going to have Boomer do some shoulder now?
Yeah, he'll be doing 4 sets of 8 on the front press there, shoulder press.
For some reason, I have this phantom injury that everybody thinks that I'm hurt or something, which is ridiculous, actually. And I've been doing these ever since I can remember, actually, back in high school doing front presses. And this is an exercise that I really like. I feel real comfortable with it. And it's something I think that's important to do for somebody who obviously does throw and rely on their shoulders.
Let's see him do one.
All right, let's go to work. This is it now. Come on.
1, 2, 3. Come on. Now it's 10 to 8. We got to go to lateral raises. And I haven't had my cream of wheat yet.
How many sets and reps are you going to have?
We do 3 sets.
3 sets of 8, side lateral raise? What are a few technique points Boomer's going to work on right now when he's doing side lateral?
What I try to tell him to do is it's like having 2 pitchers in Boomer's case, 2 pitchers of beer. And as he comes down, just try to, like he's pouring them. And that's, most people come up like this and their forms are off. It's nice and easy. And this is a very technical lift. More people have stopped me when I'm looking and say, Dave, you should do it like this way. And there's a ton of different ways to do it. But just remember, 2 pitchers of beer and you're pouring them at the top. You don't have to go all the way up. I've seen people go all the way up. I've seen people go all the way up, but I just like it just above shoulder height and back down. Just
about ear level?
Sure.
The gym is a place for hard work, but it's also a place to relax and unwind with friends. Boomer shared some thoughts with us about working out and playing quarterback in the NFL.
I've been fortunate that I've only missed 2 games, 2 starts in my career. And I think a lot of it has been because of stuff like this. And I'm doing it maintenance-wise. I'm not doing it to get, like, larger than life, as these guys would like to put it. I mean, that's their deal. That's what they get paid for. That's what they have to do. I don't have to do that. It's not only physical fatigue, it's mental fatigue. You know, if you're on the field, especially in a football season, when every game means so much, and all of a sudden you're dropping back, and next thing you know, your team is 2-6 or 1-7. Now all of a sudden, the mental aspect of playing quarterback for a team like that, and also, you know, every Monday morning having to answer questions about, you know, why didn't you do this? How come you didn't do that? You know, this position that I play, without question, is the most difficult position to play in all of sports, mentally, physically, and, you know, just the things that you got to put up with. You know, the mayor, the police chief, nobody is criticized more than a quarterback on Monday morning. But, you know, it's also good for me, though, to work with these guys because, you know, I wouldn't say any one of us is what you would consider a great athlete. We're not in the stratosphere of a Charles Barkley, a Michael Jordan, you know, a Barry Bonds. We're not there. Those guys are athletes that were born with unbelievable ability. Now, we have some ability, we have some size, but you have to do some more to be successful. And I think that's the way Mark is. I know that's the way I am. I think that's the way Dave was when he played. I mean, we always want to do more because we feel like if we don't do more, somebody else is going to beat us. So, and we need every edge we can get.
Boomer said even he needs every edge he can get, and since a quarterback's most prized possession is his shoulder, we saw him doing lateral raises to strengthen and stabilize his. But what about your shoulders? If you play tennis or softball, you know how important your shoulders are. But everyone can benefit from strong, well-balanced shoulders, plus it gives you a nice little look. Like Dave Remington said, lateral raises with dumbbells are tough to master, but there are other ways you can get the same results. This is the Nautilus lateral raise. It's different from the dumbbell lateral raise because this is a machine. The key to using any machine in the gym, ask a trainer for some help and get the proper seat adjustment, the proper weight, and learn how to use the machine correctly. This one's real easy. Few technique points, just lead with the elbow, never grab the handles. Use a weight where you can get 12 reps real comfortable so you can get maybe 2 to 3 sets, and always move in a controlled motion. It's that easy, and you'll get the same results as you will with the dumbbell lateral raise. Remember, before you start any workout program, talk to your doctor first. Hey, when we come back, Boomer's going to show us how he practices throwing the football.
Golfers have probably been the most naive in the world as far as athletes are concerned, and you're going to see big changes take place. Guys are going to come out here. It's already starting, using the weights, getting stronger, and hitting the ball prodigious distances.
Are you stuck in your present job with no real chance to get ahead? Discover the excitement of a career training in the medical field.
Call now for this National Education Center brochure. In just a few months, you could be helping a doctor with patients or running the front office.
Call now for this brochure. There are day and evening classes, flexible schedules, even keep your present job while you learn.
For a brochure, call 1-800-772-5800. 1-800-772-5800. Call now.
1-800-772-5800. 1-800-772-5800. 1-800-772-5800. 1-800-772-5800. 1-800-772-5800. 1-800-772-5800. 1-800-772-5800. Call now.
I got a new taste that's pure delight. New Pringles sour cream and onion light. That's right. Rich sour cream and tangy onion. Mmm, that taste is really something, cause the dip is in the chips, so delicious on your lips. Look, compare Pringles to regular chips. Pringles have less fat and they're less greasy too. The proof's in front of you. So grab a bunch of this, not that, and get a whole lot of taste and less of the fat. New Pringles sour cream and onion light. That's right. Once you pop, you can't stop.
7 no-hitters, 300 wins, over 5,000 strikeouts, and one of the most feared pitchers in baseball history. Now we're honoring Nolan Ryan's farewell season in the Legends Gold Stamp Series. These official 23-karat gold stamps can be yours in this special TV offer. These stamps are handsomely displayed in a special collector's presentation wallet and come with a free first-day cover with a paper stamp canceled on the first day of issue, along with its own numbered certificate of authenticity. You get the Nolan Ryan gold stamp, the presentation wallet, and the free baseball collector's card for only $39.95. Any baseball fan will want to remember the legend of Nolan Ryan. Here's how to order.
Have your credit card ready and call 1-800-322-2100 to receive your set of Nolan Ryan stamps, or send $39.95 plus $4.50 shipping and handling to P.O. Box 2424H, Grand Central Station, New York, New York. Or call toll-free now, 1-800-322-2100.
Welcome back to Cross Training with the Pros.
Usually when we're on the road and stuff, we have to try to find places to throw. So we're trying to show you how we do that here now. And what I like to do when I throw is I usually like to take 3 types of passes that I will throw in a game and just work on those. Throw about 10 to 12 passes each time. And after working out, I don't want to throw too much because I don't want to put too much strain on my shoulder. So I'll work on a 3-step drop, I'll work on a 5-step drop, and I'll work on a 7-step drop. And then to coincide with that, you'll be at different levels down the field for me. Okay. And what we'll do here today, if you wouldn't mind, if I could borrow your services.
I'm ready.
We'll work on the first 3-step drops.
How many yards out are we going to be?
Well, you'll be about 7 to 8 yards deep, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you stand still, and I'm going to throw it at a target. Okay. Because, you know, you're not like Rob Moore, or Chris Burkett, or Johnny Mitchell. I hate to, you know, blow your mind here a little bit, but I need you to stand still, and I'm throwing at targets right now. Okay?
What do I get to do?
Dave, you catch for me.
Okay.
You know, Dave's kind of a sensitive guy. Yeah. You know, I don't want him really, I don't want to hurt his feelings. You know, he wants to catch the ball. He's always tried to want to catch. He wasn't even a center eligible when we played.
Work him in a little bit.
No. Look, I've seen him try to catch the ball, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay, so try not to rub it in on him, okay?
All right. We'll be nice.
He's a sensitive big guy.
We'll take him out to eat later. Throw a couple burgers.
Let's go throw a couple burgers down his throat. Okay.
We're ready.
All right, here. Now listen, I want you to stand right here.
I'm here.
On an angle. You see,
on an
angle. Like you're angling up the field.
Up the field.
And you see, I'm going to be right where about Dave is, and I'm going to try to hit you right here. And the other thing is that when we're out here, you got dump trucks, you got cars,
yeah, watch
you got
the dump
buses.
truck, kick in some agility.
Now, all I want you to do is stand still. I'm going to throw it to you at a target, okay? I'm taking 3 steps. You're about 8 yards deep, okay?
All right.
All right, here we go. Good catch.
Huh?
That's not bad.
Like I know what I'm doing.
I'll tell you what, you look pretty good.
Not bad. Where you coming at me?
Yep.
Oh, a little slippery on the ball. That's a Boomer Esiason fastball coming at you. You catch it.
Now, let me ask you a question.
What's that?
You know, in your estimation, would you think that my arm is hurt?
Didn't feel that way to me. Does it look like his arm's hurt? Now where are we going?
Now you're going to go back about 3 lines.
3 lines?
Yep.
How many yards would you say you're coming at me here?
This looks like it's about 12 to 15 yards.
This is 12 or 15 yards?
Move it up 1 step. There you go. You're about 12 yards now. Now what this is what we call a pivot route. Where the guy goes up and turns around. I mean, you know, it's like you draw it on your hand. You're locked in right there.
Okay.
Now I'll go back 5 steps.
5-step drop?
Right, and then when I throw the ball, you'll come back at me.
Come back at you a little bit. Watch me.
See, you know, that's the kind of thing that drives me crazy. That's
So
the kind
I'd
of
run
thing
back to the
you
huddle and say
come
sorry.
back to the huddle after you do something like that, all right?
All right.
You want to try it one more time?
One more time.
All right.
I won't let you down. I'm open, Boomer.
Okay.
Now where are we going?
Now you're going to go back. Yeah, let me explain what this is here. Now, this is a middle read. I'm throwing it over the linebackers, but in between the safety. So it's not going to be a real lob. It's going to be more of a, but there's not going to be a lot on it. It's not going to be like a little pivot or hook. Okay, now I'm going to kind of loft it over your shoulder a little bit.
Am I going to go get it or I'm just standing?
Well, you just stand there and then, you know, adjust to the ball.
Adjust?
I want you to adjust to the ball.
All right. Kicking my natural ability.
Whoa. There you go. Come on, Keith. Come on, man.
How'd I do, Boomer?
Well, you did all right. I appreciate your effort.
I went deep a couple times. I got it done.
Yeah, but as you see, what we like to do is, what I like to do anyway, is I like to work on 3 different passes. I went 5, 3, and 7-step drop for me, and you were different distances away from me. You were 8 yards, you were then 12 yards, and then eventually you got to 22 yards.
Right.
And it's all about timing. I would never throw, you know, that pass that's 8 yards. I would never drop back 7 steps because, you know, you'd be standing there waiting for me,
right.
and I'd be holding
I
on,
might
you know,
not be, but your 4-2 wide receiver
or whoever,
might be,
you know, they'll be standing. So the whole thing works in timing together. So, and even though I'm not out here with one of my wide receivers, I can work on my timing. I can do my drop backs quickly. I can do my different things. And it doesn't matter if you're on a football field or in this case we're in a parking lot, but the bottom line is that you're doing something. And like I said, it's not like, football's not like basketball where you can go to any hoop and shoot. You got to find somebody who can catch. You got to have the right, you know, you got to have a football and you got to be out there. And it's not really a lot of fun to do, but you have to do it anyway.
Boomer, thanks for being
I
here, buddy.
appreciate
Good luck
it.
this year in New York.
Very much.
Look forward to
Okay.
watching.
Thanks.
David, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mark, good luck this year.
Enjoyed it.
You know, this is a year-round business. I mean, when the season's over, you take a couple weeks off and you get into your routine, whether it be running, lifting weights, doing anything to keep yourself in shape and, you know, keep yourself ready for the next year, because it seems like every year there's somebody younger, somebody stronger, somebody faster. So you got to keep trying to get stronger and faster and, you know, keep yourself in the game as long as you can.
Major League Baseball Home Video presents...
We're back!
Now it can be heard, the sounds of baseball. This is the baseball video that puts you on the field to hear the game as never before.
They say we got to take the lead right here. Take the lead. First inning.
You're going to put him in jail?
No, I'm not going to put him in jail.
Straighten the bat. He's not making it up. He's not making it up. Gee! The guy's standing in front of the plate. Tommy, wait a minute. He's standing...
Host Tommy Lasorda takes you behind the closed doors to reveal the secret strategy in team meetings and some Major League Clubhouse practical jokes, plus candid moments with today's superstars. Now it can be heard.
Yeah.
Do you want to order?
Yeah.
Well, to order, send check or money order to this address or use your credit card and call 1-800-524-1122. That's 1-800-524-1122.
Darryl Dawkins used to name his backboard-shattering dunks. The NBA Jam Session book has it. When you say it...
Chocolate thunder flying.
Night line, teeth shaking.
Glass breaking.
Lunch roasting. One toasting.
Wham bam, glass breaker.
I am Jen.
You get over 200 color photos of the greatest backboard-shattering dunks. And the complete history of slam jamming from Dr. J to Michael Jordan.
This book is awesome, but the pictures are so bright.
Okay, how about we throw in an NBA Jam Session regulation-size Spalding basketball?
Yeah, please get in the wall. Thank you.
Plus, for a few who still haven't got it, a 30-minute video of earth-shaking slam dunks got to today's hottest music.
I get to keep this?
All book, ball, and video for an unbeatable $29.95.
Chocolate thunder flying, I ain't lying, teeth shaking, glass breaking, rope roasting, bun toasting, wham bam, glass breaker, I am Jan.
Call now 1-800-922-1113.
Hey, it's a gorgeous spring day out here. We got the lake, got the trees in bloom. Hey, I'm sitting on a boat. You know what I'm thinking about? Hey, how can I get ready for the ski season? And to find out about that, I've got gold medalist Donna Weinbrecht.
Donna is the mogul of moguls. When freestyle mogul skiing became an official Olympic event in '92, Donna won the gold medal and became America's reigning Queen of the Bumps. All you skiers out there know that it's more than gravity that takes you flying down a mountain. It takes strength, flexibility, and endurance, because in mogul skiing, you actually launch yourself into the air repeatedly. It takes an incredible athlete to do it, and Donna's the very best in the world.
Hey, Donna, how are you?
I'm feeling great.
Hey, this is your off season.
I know.
It's pretty nice little setting out here.
Getting ready to ski.
Yeah? Well, I know it's an important off-season because you did have the knee injury. How's that coming?
It's coming along great. The doctor says I have the okay to get back on snow.
Donna, in this kind of setting, what can we possibly do to get ready for the ski season?
Well, skiers are big cross trainers. We do everything, mountain biking, windsurfing. Of course, you could go to the gym. But my big buddy this year was the sport cord because I had to rehab.
And the sport cord is something you could do right here in the backyard.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we go try a couple?
Okay.
Donna, you know, most people think of sport cord and tubing stuff as mainly just all upper body. I'm going to work on the guns, but I know for skiing it's all about legs and the quads, the front of the legs, bounding. Can you do lower body exercises with this?
Oh, you could do great lower body exercises. I mean, with skiing, you do want to maintenance good quad strength, but the thing is your hamstrings are something you really need to isolate because they need to be worked just as hard.
So what you're saying, when you ski, you're going to overload the quads so much, you got to work some.
You got to isolate in the off season and during the season.
And
quad
that gives you a
strength.
little bit of balance.
You get a balance.
Keep the legs
strength.
So show me something for the hamstring.
Well, if you're really strong, you use 2 cords or you can use 1 cord.
And you get to sit in a chair.
You get to sit in a chair outside.
Wet grass. I'll give you a little spot there.
Okay. You just pull straight back by dragging your foot, and it'll just isolate working your hamstring.
And you work that slow, controlled motion.
You do 3 sets of 30, or if you're not ready for that, you know.
Why are you working such high repetition with this?
Because in mogul skiing, we have such long runs that you need good power and strength throughout.
So you work a little base strength and endurance.
Yeah, endurance.
What's something else I could do with the sports cord?
Well, there's a hip exercise where it's called the hip flexor, and it's kind of like the hamstring, but you turn around this way, you put your foot into the handles, or you could put 1 in the handle if it's too tough. You get down like this.
So you're down like a sprinter?
Yeah, a sprinter start, and you pull your knee up to your chest.
So that hip flexor is the muscle that brings your knee up to your chest. And this is real important for skiing?
Oh, definitely, for absorption and strength.
So when you're bounding off those hills, this will take some of the shock out for you?
Exactly. It's just like shock absorbers on a car.
Donna, we're going to see one more exercise. Now, I've always heard about this Mark Giardelli exercise, and you promised to show it to me, so let's see it.
Okay, it really simulates skiing when you unload and load a ski.
So you can actually simulate skiing with the sports cord?
Exactly. I use a Valero belt, but also the sport cord comes with a belt. But this is more comfortable for me.
All right, well, let's see this thing.
Load up and explode out to the side.
So you're down actually in the skiing position right now.
So basically, this is your ski, and then you float onto the other ski and wait. And you can do both sides by reversing.
And this is a Giardelli?
This is a Giardelli.
I thought it was a sandwich or something, but it's an exercise with the sports cord.
Sounds like a sandwich.
Hey, can you teach me how to do a Giardelli? Donna, does it look like I'm a skier now? Now I'm down in my skiing position. You can tell I have a natural look to me when I'm skiing now. Now I'm gonna jump out to here and back, just like this.
Explode off of this foot.
Now how many times do I got to do this?
You could do for a minute on each side, or you could do reps.
Hey Donna, I got to tell you, these Giardellis can really take it out of you. Can really whack you on the CV training.
Well, I don't do that for my cardiovascular.
You don't
go rollerblading. Do you want to go rollerblading with me?
We did the Giardellis. I guess we're going rollerblading. I'm ready. Here I come. I'm breaking. Wow, there's a quick trip around the lake for you. Tough keeping up with me, huh?
Yeah.
You know. Hey, how come I got all the pads on? Something's a little funny.
Cooler.
Here. Yeah? Hey, what's some of the stuff we could do back and forth here on this nice pavement?
Well, you could bring out your poles and you could practice your turns. You could go around cones, or you could do some sprinting exercises.
All down in like ski position?
Oh,
down?
yeah.
Let's see the Donna Weinbrecht ski position.
Poles, arms,
we're ready.
hands
That
out.
looks like me, ready to go. Hey, let's go try something.
Okay. Push.
I'm slaloming.
Get those legs tighter.
There we go.
I love this place.
All right.
Cross.
Easy
over.
does it. Easy now.
Okay, cross.
I'm crossing. Going too fast. I'll catch up to you.
throughout the turn. Push. Where are you, buddy?
I'm right here. All right, that's the crossover move. That's a long radius crossover that she was demonstrating. I was just kind of following along to help her out. Hey, Donna, thanks for a great day. We rollerbladed and we did the sports court. Now, as long as we're in your home in West Milford, let's see the grand prize.
There it is.
Wow.
It's one of a kind because Moguls was debuted in '92 in Albertville, and I hope it's first of many for me.
That's absolutely gorgeous. Hey, how about '94? Bring another one on home.
That's my goal.
Good luck with it.
Thank you.
Coming up on Cross Training with the Pros, the world's greatest volleyball player, Karch Karai, Ironman Mark Allen, and NBA point guard, Pooh Richardson.
If there's one thing a professional painter can say to a do-it-yourselfer, it's this. Don't do it yourself. Get some help. Ask Sherwin-Williams. The answer? Good paint, good price, and good advice. Guaranteed. I rely on these guys for almost everything. You know, a professional painting crew wouldn't even start a job until they got all the help they needed. You shouldn't either. Pros, no. Ask Sherwin-Williams.
Isuzu, America's #1 selling low-cab forward truck. With over 150 vocational applications.
O'Connor Truck Sales, the #1 Isuzu dealer in the tri-state area.
Welcome back to Shea Stadium. Andy Musser with Kent DeColby. We've been awaiting a rain delay here, and the rain has stopped. They've fixed up the field, and we're going to start here in just a couple of minutes. This is a 3-3 ball game in the 8th inning, and the Phillies have a runner on with 1 out as they battle these New York Mets and try to keep their lead on Montreal. Doing a little scoreboard watching, Montreal is ahead of St. Louis 4-2 there in the 6th inning. And down in Atlanta, the Reds have just added a couple of runs, and they lead the Braves 5-2 in the 8th. Well, T can answer to the question about a relief pitcher coming back. Pete Shurik is going to come back and face the Phillies here after the rain delay, which began at 9:48. So he's on the mound, and he will pick it right up.
Well, Shurik, a reliever who is used to getting up and down during the course of a ball game, had just started the top of the 8th inning for the New York Mets, so not much of a problem for him to, you know, this is just like he had one of those little warm-up sessions in the bullpen, sat down for a while and started again. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Curt Schilling, a starting pitcher who has already pitched through 7 innings. There's action out in the Philly bullpen right now as we speak. Looks like David West is starting to throw out there a little bit for the Phillies, so, you know, and it could become a very academic question. From this point on, Schilling the 3rd batter in this inning, so Philly's hopeful to get down to his spot in the order, probably use a pinch hitter for him, and then the decision becomes very easy. Then, of course, the reliever does come in.
In a case like this, will they give Shurik as much time to warm up as he feels necessary?
Yeah, they'll just ask him when he's ready, and it appears as if he has just signaled to Randy Marsh that he is ready. Mets out in the field, so it appears as if we are ready to resume action.
It's 10:22 here on the stadium clock. Were we to resume at this point exactly, that would be a 34-minute rain delay. It's a 3-3 ball game for the Phillies. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. The Mets 3 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors. Chamberlain, the runner at first. There's 1 out in the inning. No count on Thompson. Milt takes ball 1. In the ball game tonight, Milt has gone 0 for 3. That's a strike, and it's 1-1. They call it a 25-minute, or excuse me, a 35-minute rain delay. Base hit for Thompson, going through the left side hole, and the Phillies have 2 on with 1 out. Thompson gets a single, hit number 8 for the Phillies. Kevin Stocker will come up now with 2 on and 1 out. And the Phillies will definitely plan on pinch hitting for Schilling, who follows. Ricky Jordan grabs a bat and comes on out. Stocker's had a good ball game. He's reached base 3 straight times on a walk, an intentional walk, and a single. And he has scored 2 of the 3 Phillies runs.
We mentioned before the rain delay, the Phillies' ability to keep the pressure on the New York Mets very critical. Here in the 8th inning, after 1 out, back-to-back base hits, pressure's back on again. Mel Stottlemyre looking toward the bullpen. He was having a little trouble before trying to get a catcher out to warm up Shorrock during the rain delay.
Curveball for a strike. Yeah, he was motioning down there for about 5 minutes till anybody finally paid any attention to him. And they're getting a right-hander up in the bullpen. Phillies have seen nothing but left-handed pitching tonight. Harry Wendelstedt is the crew chief here. He did a good job during the rain delay, keeping in touch with the ground crew.
You mentioned the right-handed action in the Mets bullpen is Jeff Innes. Up and throwing. Came out almost immediately upon seeing Ricky Jordan step into the on-deck circle. So
the race is on, huh?
The race is on. Dallas Green with only 1 left-hander left after Shorrock, John Franco, who pitched last night.
Grounded up the middle. It's stopped by Kent. Can't get the ball out. Everybody's safe. Kent tried to make a backhanded scoop, but he couldn't get the ball out, and the Phillies have him loaded. I'm sure they'll call that a hit.
Kent does a nice job of getting to this ball. The ball trapped underneath him. Tries to flip it to McKnight out of the glove. Gets the ball hung up a little bit. Doesn't get it to the bag. McKnight not able to get the force play on Thompson at second. So now the Phillies with the bases loaded and 1 out. And Ricky Jordan pinch hitting for Curt Schilling.
Stocker with a pair of infield hits in the ball game, and here comes Jordan. Bases loaded, 1 out. Ricky is hitting at .270, 13 homers, 75 runs. Excuse me, I'm reading the wrong line here. .270 with 5 homers and 16 runs batted in. Bat handle fly ball, shallow right center, and caught out there by Burnitz, tagging at third, and coming on to score is Chamberlain. The Phillies lead 4-3. Chamberlain crosses the plate with a go-ahead run.
Burnitz with a strong arm in right field gets to this ball, but is moving towards center field. Wes Chamberlain tagging at third, sees the ball in the glove. He's off and running because of his weight not being behind him to throw a little bit up the third baseline. Hundley not able to handle it, bounces away, but Chamberlain was able to scoot in by sliding to the inside part of the diamond. So good rate base running by Chamberlain, and a nice job of challenging the Met right fielder.
The hitter now, Lenny Dykstra. The other runners did not advance. First and second now with 2 outs. Lenny fouls off the pitch, strike 1. Lenny is 0 for 4 in the ball game tonight. 2 ground outs and 2 balls hit in the air. The Montreal-St. Louis game is tied. It's a 4-4 tie in the 7th inning in St. Louis.
So in a span of about 30 seconds, all kinds of good things happening.
Really? That's low. 1 ball and 1 strike on Dykstra. 3 hits in the inning and the all-important sacrifice fly.
Phillies in the same position they were in last inning with a chance for some of that 2-out thunder. Tack some extra runs on the board. Have already regained the lead. Now trying to add to it.
Dykstra takes a curveball out of the strike zone. 2-1 the count. There's Innes. He's ready if they need him at this point. chops a foul, and the count is level at 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's always had a good average against his former employers, the New York Mets. So it's got to be a little frustrating for him tonight that he's 0 for 4.
Very important pitch right here.
And Shorrock does not want to make it with that baseball. He wants a different one.
The reason being, if the count goes to 3-2, Milt Thompson probably going to score on any kind of a base hit to the outfield. He has good speed. But if the count goes to 3-2 with 2 outs, Stalker at first base will be on the move and increases his chances of scoring on an extra base hit. Key pitch.
The count remains 2-2. Sonny's really good at that, smothering a pitch and just destroying a pitch that he doesn't really want to hit.
Yeah, a little bit off balance out in front. Mariano Duncan on deck. Would not imagine that he's going to get a chance to hit off of Shorrock. I would imagine if it gets to Duncan, we'll see Jeff Ennis in this ball game.
A little high, and it goes to a full count. So what Teak was talking about will happen. The runners will get the jump here. They'll be off on a 3-2 pitch.
Stalker able to get a running start. Also with Eddie Murray playing behind at first base. A little bit more freedom for Stalker over there. So right now all the elements in the Phillies' favor.
Dykstra gets time. Hundley's going to visit the mound here before they make this all-important pitch. The Phillies have retaken the lead. It's 3-2, or excuse me, it's 4-3 Phillies here in the top half of the 8th inning. In that Cincinnati-Atlanta game, the Reds have a 6-2 lead. Braves batting in the 8th. Giants lost earlier today to the Cubs 3-1. Fly ball out in the left field. Could be a play by Orsulak. He's out of room. Lenny gets a life. Lenny back into the box. He ran it out. This inning started with an out, by the way, but then Chamberlain single. Then we had the rain. Then Thompson's base hit and Stocker's infield hit. Then the sacrifice fly by Ricky Jordan, pinch hitting for Schilling.
Every time one of those foul balls drops in foul territory in the stands, pitcher's assignment a little more difficult because you have to make one more good pitch before you make a mistake.
Dykstra hits it hard and through for a base hit. Scoring on the play is Thompson. Stocker's going to third. He's coming around. He's going to score. Stocker scores, and the Phillies lead it 6-3.
With the base runners moving, Thompson going to score on anything. The ground ball through, though, and Stalker easily gets to third base, but the mistake by the Mets. Burnitz in right field just retrieves the ball and casually throws it back into second base. Larry Bowa at third base watching the play all the way. We'll watch it right here from the beginning. Ground ball through. Thompson's already in. Stalker's to third base, but watch Burnitz. He returns the ball casually into second base. Kent doesn't even pay any attention at all to Stalker. Bowa alertly just keeps him coming when he sees the lob throw going to second base. The Phillies pick up the extra run, and Dallas Green is not happy.
Well, you couldn't be happy with that kind of defense, no doubt. And he's making the pitching change, bringing in the right-hander Jeff Ennis to face Duncan. But the Phillies have done the damage and have taken a 6-3 lead in a game where each team has 10 hits. We have a pitching change here at Shea Stadium. 6-3 Phillies in the 8th. We'll be right back.
Trouble with heartburn? Well, you could change your job, change your lifestyle, change your diet.
Bon appetit.
Or better still, reach for Rolaids. It absorbs acid fast to bring 100% relief to millions. So maybe you can't change your life, but you can get relief in original and calcium rich. Rolaids spells relief.
Now it's time for our Rolaids relief statistics. Rolaids spells relief. Checking the American League first. Jeff Montgomery out with a fairly comfortable lead at this point of the season over Dwayne Ward, and Tom Hankey brings it up. And, you know, Teak, the interesting thing as we move to the National League is that you don't see Lee Smith's name in there. He didn't take his points with him.
No, the points went to the American League, and Lee Smith gets his points split up. Not quite enough points to qualify in the National League. Randy Myers now out in front by 2 points over Rod Beck, and Brian Harvey of the Florida Marlins only 4 points behind Myers.
That's an amazing total for a guy with an expansion team, is it not?
Expansion Ball Club, 43 saves for Brian Harvey.
Meantime, Jeff Innes is going to take over here as Dallas Green wants the right-hander to face Duncan with major damage already done as the Phillies have 3 across in the inning.
Jeff Innes making his 60th appearance of the season, 1 win, 3 losses, 3 saves, and a 4.22 earned run average. Let's go back to the play that just happened right now. Jeremy Burnett's in right field just wasn't paying attention. He wasn't thinking about the runner being moving. He's assuming that Stocker's going to go first to third, not paying attention to what the situation of the ball game is, lobs the ball back into second. Credit 2 people with that. Kevin Stocker, number 1, for going hard all the way. He knew he was going to get to third, but he didn't break down. He went hard all the way to third base, giving Larry Boa the chance to see that the throw's going to second and send him on in with that additional run.
And that could be a big one. Let's see how it goes here as Duncan comes up. He has an RBI double, which he got last inning. Mariano 1 for 4 in the ball game. 2-run single for Dykstra. Lenny now with 60 runs batted in. Here he comes.
This is the extra run. You see Boa. He knows that he's got him in there. Now you see him cheering in the background. Saw that soft toss go into second base.
Trying to keep Lenny close. Lenny with 37 stolen bases.
Nothing makes a third base coach happier than to be on top of a play like that and then have a base runner that's working with him and giving him 100% all the way around the bases.
Innes comes with a breaking ball and gets it in for a strike.
Look at the Phillies after the rain delay. Base hit, sacrifice fly, base hit.
Isn't that something?
Came out smoking. You know, just as the Phillies are watching that St. Louis-Montreal game, seeing that that game is now tied 4-4 in the top of the 8th, you know the Expos are also sitting in Montreal doing a little scoreboard watching. They're seeing these 3 runs go on the board.
Yeah, up over in St. Louis. That's right. That's a foul ball. It rolls out to third, but it's foul.
So kind of a double effect right there. A little lift for the Phillies and a little bit of a push down on the Montreal Expos.
Jim Fregosi saying that the pennant race starts on the 15th, so if you're in a pennant race on the 15th, it's a good day to win a ball game. And Dallas Green has not seen his team execute exactly the way he wants.
Dallas Green's pennant race ended about the 15th of May. He wasn't even here yet. I should say the New York Mets pennant race ended about the 15th of May.
How about that story, you know?
Dallas was still on the boat.
His wife Sylvia was out of the country, you know, when Dallas got the job. They were losing games like crazy. He said, I might be fired and get back, and she get back won't even know I had this job. 1-2 now on Duncan. Phillies lead it 6-3. We are in the 8th. Mets still have 2 full at-bats in this game. So the Phillies will need 6 more outs before they can call up theirs. I do believe that Innes is a little too concerned with Dykstra at this point. Even his own fans are booing him.
Yeah. So we sat here through all this rain, just try to get the hitter out. Most important man in the ballpark right now for Jeff Ennis is Mariano Duncan at the plate, not Lenny Dykstra at first.
He missed with that breaking ball. What do you think of a pitcher that uses this funky motion that this Ennis uses?
I think it should be outlawed.
I do too.
Yeah, a real man would never throw that way.
I guess you heard that somewhere.
Either that or somebody, you know, if you had another option, maybe you wouldn't throw that way.
Well, he strikes out Mariano Duncan to end the inning. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 left. Go to the bottom of the 8th. 6-3 Phillies.
Major League Baseball Home Video proudly presents Centennial, over 100 years of Philadelphia Phillies baseball. This special video captures the passion and excitement that is shared by the Phillies and their fans. Relive all the joy and fun of 1950 and the beloved Whiz Kids. And who will ever forget the magical year of 1980 when the Phillies won it all? A must for every Phillies fan, Centennial has the history, the fun, and the hustle of Philadelphia baseball. To order for just $19.95 plus $4 shipping, send check or money order to this address. Or use your credit card and call 1-800-255-9200. That's 1-800-255-9200.
Time is running out on Ford's factory authorized clearance. Get $1,000 cash back on the #1 selling car in America, Ford Taurus. Or choose from 4 Escort models all at one price. Thunderbird is almost $4,000 less than last year.
5 of the top 10 sellers.
See your Quality Plus Ford dealer and get your best clearance deal today.
#1 in America.
Hurry, Ford's factory authorized clearance ends soon.
You'll get a great-looking Phillies poster free, compliments of Acme, plus plenty of fun surprises when the Phillies play the Braves on Fan Appreciation Day, Sunday, September 26th at 1:35. Reserve your tickets now. Call 463-1000.
David West is on for the Phillies as we go to the bottom half of the 8th inning in a game led by the Phillies 6-3. And David takes over here against the team that brought him to the major leagues. He was in their system for a couple of years.
Yeah, West making his 68th appearance of the season, 6 wins, 4 losses, 302 earned run average. Does have 3 saves. The only 3 saves the Phillies have that are not credited to Mitch Williams. Also in this inning, Jim Eisenreich has moved into right field and to replace Wes Chamberlain out there. So we have Eisenreich in right and West on the mound.
And because those runs were scored while Schilling was still the pitcher of record, he can win this ball game. Here's Chico Walker. Cheeker will now swing around and bat from the right side, sends a fly ball to Eisenreich land. Well, that's why you make a nice defensive change like that. Chamberlain might have caught it, maybe he wouldn't have, but Eisenreich, he is very sure-handed out there.
And when you're the new guy in the ball game, the ball's going to find you right away. It seems like it happens all the time. Eisy makes a little quick glance back to see where the wall's at, knows that he has room, sticks up that big glove and sucks it right up. That's why you're out there, Eisy.
He knows it too. He's played in almost all the Phillies games this year, one way or the other. And now Jeff Kent, 1 for 3, single back in the 2nd inning. Over for a strike. Hop up. A play for Kruk. John squeezes it in fair territory. There are 2 outs, and Darren Jackson is coming up as a pinch hitter for Jeremy Burnitz. Darren Jackson to bat. Jackson hitting at 152, 1 homer, 6 runs batted in, 1 for 6 as a pinch hitter. Base is empty and 2 outs for Jackson. The on-deck hitter is McKnight. Then if they would go beyond that, it would be Innis's turn, and they will certainly pinch hit for him. 6-3 Phillies. 1-1 on Darren Jackson, acquired from Toronto. Started the year with the San Diego Padres. Darren's really moved around.
David West doing the work right now for the Phillies, but he's backed up by a pair of right-handers in the Philly bullpen. Don Paul and Larry Anderson out there both throwing.
Foul back. Is this a game where we're likely to see Mitch Williams with a 3-run lead? It is a save situation.
It has been one of those situations come up before, and Mitch has been in there, so I would imagine things stay the way they are. We have a very good chance of seeing Mitch.
Of course, the Phillies could make that academic by getting some more runs in the top half of the ninth.
5 would be nice.
5 more?
5 more. Never too proud to score in bunches.
2-2 count here on Darren Jackson. Ground ball to third. Hollins plays it. 1-2-3 inning. Down go the Mets in the 8th. That's a good sign right after the Phillies take the lead. We go to the 9th. 6-3 Phillies.
In a game rich with traditions, Sherwin-Williams has created one of its own by preserving and protecting the national shrines of our national pastime. This is the paint of the pros, and it's the choice of millions of fans at home. And while your town may not have a big league ballpark in it, it does have a big league paint store. The pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams.
Mountain man survival skills. The basics. A true mountain man must have a keen sense of direction, a certain physical dexterity, and a talent for surviving the most unforgiving climates. Of course, nothing is more key to a mountain man's survival than plenty of smooth bush beer and easy drinking bush life. So, head for the mountains and learn how the mountain man survives even the most grueling conditions.
It's like having a Phillies ticket window come right to your home. Call 463-1000 and reserve your tickets in advance. No rushing, no waiting, no hassle. 463-1000. It's like having a Phillies ticket window right in your home.
Here's a reminder about Phillies Dream Week for anyone that's been thinking about joining us for a great week of fun in baseball next February in Clearwater Beach. The number to call for information and to reserve your spot on the roster is 215-938-1200. That's 215-938-1200 for Phillies Dream Week, where you can take the field with Tony Taylor, Greg Luzinski, Art Mahaffey, Larry Boa, and I'll be there too. That's 215-938-1200 for Phillies Dream Week.
And here we go to the 9th inning with the Phillies ahead 6-3. In the outfield, Darren Jackson remains in. He'll play in left field. Orsulak, who was the left fielder, swings over to play in right field. Leading off for the Phillies, John Kruk. John is 2 out of 4 tonight, both singles. Drove in 1 run, his 76th. Innis working from the stretch, even though there are no runners here. Innis has faced just 1 batter. He struck out Duncan to end the 8th. Kruk now batting at .317. He added 2 points tonight. Taking a look at some of those late American League scores, Toronto has an 11-8 lead over Detroit in the 9th inning. And Boston leads Baltimore 6-5 in the 9th. Yankees lost today 15-5 at Milwaukee. Off speed and it fooled John. Phillies bullpen. Mitch is up. So is Don Paul. Two balls and 2 strikes on Kruk.
Have to apologize too to Jeremy Burnett. I gave him credit for making the bonehead play last inning, throwing the ball, lobbing it into second base. It was actually Ryan Thompson, the center fielder, who made that play. So make sure that we get that play accurately stated.
That's low, ball 3. It's 3-2 on Kruk, leading off the ninth. Kruk, Hollins, and Dalton to bat here, and you're right, a little insurance wouldn't hurt.
And then it's going to see a string of left-handed batters.
Ball 4. John Kruk, who walks a lot, picks up his 104th.
We mentioned the New York Mets with only one left-hander in their bullpen after Pete Shorrock exited the ball game. John Franco. Franco threw in last night's ball game. Is not up and throwing right now, even though all the Philly hitters coming up this inning are all going to be left-handed hitters. I don't think you see another right-handed hitter until you get back to Mariano Duncan again. So Innocent's kind of an unusual situation for him, pretty much of a specialist against right-handed hitters. Going to see a ton of left-handers this inning.
Hollins 1 for 4. Teak, I think the reason for that is because Franco was on the DL with a tender arm this year, and they don't want to pitch him in back-to-back games.
They try not to if they possibly can, and being shorthanded on that left side, you would think after rosters are expanded, the New York Mets would have a lot of extra pitchers down there. But we talked earlier about all the injuries that they've had. Just don't have them.
Kruk is safe. So Innes is going to see a little work here. If you throw with the motion that he has, and certainly you have some expertise in this area, what kind of pitches do you use to try to get a left-handed batter out?
Well, the problem with the motion is that you have to be pretty fine with it. The best pitch that you got is the sinker down and away. The problem with the motion against left-handed hitters is that the breaking ball is breaking into them, and it's pretty much on a flat plane. So they know you're going to throw fastballs away. They're going to start leaning out there, and if you throw an off-speed pitch on the inside part of the plate, you're really throwing it back into that same speed of swing. And Claude Osteen used to always talk about speeding the hitter's bat up. Well, that's exactly what you do with that motion when you throw a breaking ball flat into a left-handed hitter. So you're really kind of limited on what you can do. You can try to change speeds a little bit, but you're really pretty much locked into that fastball down and away.
Just missed. Hollins had to have a good eye to take that. It's a ball and 2 strikes on Dave. Still nobody out here in the inning as the Phillies try to add to a 6-3 lead. Looking ahead to the bottom half of the ninth, the Mets are scheduled to start with McKnight, their number 8 hitter, then a pinch hitter for Innes. Top of the order, and Thompson. Grounded foul.
Ball by Innes in on the hands
Broke
of
his
Dave
bat.
Hollins. Broke his bat. Going to have to go back and get a new stick. That one will become firewood.
You hear that expression so often, firewood, but they don't burn them, do they?
They don't burn. I've tried to burn them. They don't burn very well. I used to try to burn them when the team was in a slump. Try to light them on fire, get some heat in the bat racket. They don't burn.
But these cracked bats make good souvenirs, don't
Oh,
they?
they're great souvenirs. Those who collect memorabilia would rather have a cracked bat than a brand new one.
In the air to left field and deep. Jackson back, just short of the warning track. Jackson pulls it in for the out, and Kruk gets back to first base. Out number 1. Hollins hits a lot of balls the opposite way, and he has pretty good power the opposite way. Darren Dalton, he's got 0 for 4 tonight. Dalton batting at .260.
0 for 4 and does not have the ball out of the infield this evening.
Bouncer to second. There's one. Safe. Didn't get the double play. The Mets can't turn a double play in this series. They have had any number of opportunities to turn double plays, and they couldn't do it.
And this is a double play ball, but Jeff Kent, when he gets the ball at second base, underhands the ball to second base. It takes too long to get the ball to McKnight. that little bit of time that it cost him to underhand the ball allows Dalton to beat the ball at first place. If he takes that ball and gives McKnight a good strong overhand throw, good possibility of doubling up Dalton.
So Jim Eisenreich gets his first at bat of the night. He came in for defense. He's hitting .335, 7 homers, 52 runs batted in. He came in for Chamberlain, who had a good ball game. West went 2 for 4 tonight, double and single, and scored 1 run. Dalton safe. Close. 1-1 on Eisenreich. Ground ball, backhand, off the glove of Walker. Everybody's safe. They might give Eisenreich a hit, although Walker should have made the stop anyway. Whether he would have thrown him out, I doubt. That's why I think it might be a hit. They are going to give him a base hit.
Ball to the backhand side. Walker goes over in position to make the play, just not able to get the ball in the center of the glove. Kicks off. So the Phillies again with a break. Runners on first and second, 2 outs, and looking again, as has happened in the last couple innings, for one of those key 2-out base hits. Milt Thompson this time gets the chance to deliver.
And Milt did get a key hit for the Phillies in the 8th inning. In the midst of that 3-run rally, he singled and scored. Foul ball. Get way out in front of that baby. One strike on Thompson.
Single in the 8th inning by Milt. Milt being the first batter after the half-hour rain delay, 35 minutes to be exact. Got the Phillies off on the right foot after the rain delay and just kept building and building on it, turned it into a 3-run inning.
Atlanta beat Cincinnati 7-6. Don't have any details on the game, but Atlanta came storming back in some fashion to win 7-6 after they trailed the entire ball game. It's their year, Teak.
Everything's going right now for the Bravos. Update that other ball game. Montreal St. Louis tied 4-4, top of the 9th.
It's outside, 2 balls and a strike on Milt.
We watched the Atlanta game with interest only because there's a good pennant race going on in the Western Division, but we watched the Montreal St. Louis game with a little bit more interest.
Really?
That's game numero uno. Well, actually, number 2. This is numero uno.
Absolutely, right here. And here the Phillies lead 6-3. High chop, gonna be trouble. No play. Base hit for Thompson. A typical Thompson hit off that chop. And the bases are loaded. Stocker hits with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Stocker's had a great ball game. He's come to the plate 4 times. He's been on base 4 times. 2 infield singles, 2 walks. He has scored half the runs tonight, 3 out of the 6. Stocker gets in, batting .347. Talking about that National League West race, with the Giants losing this afternoon and they've lost 8 in a row, and the Braves winning tonight. The lead is now 3.5 for Atlanta, who, when they passed the Braves or passed the Giants, went storming past them. I mean, that just happened in a week. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Pitcher David West, who is a good hitter, is out with a bat.
if the ball game would go beyond Kevin Stocker, David West may very well hit and stay in the ball game, because that would mean the Phillies would have at least one more run, possibly two. Big guy had a nice, easy 8th inning against the Mets, sending back out there with a bigger lead.
Just inside, it's a ball and a strike on Stocker. Been a long outing for Innes. He came on and struck out Duncan to end last inning, but his outs have been few and far between this inning. But no runs have scored just yet. Throw on through to second. A good throw might have had Eisenreich. He was wandering off the bag a little bit. But Hundley did not make a good throw. He had the right idea.
Well, we've seen twice this evening Todd Hundley not afraid to throw to the bases. Once early in the ball game through to first base, now comes up throwing to second base, trying to bail his pitcher out of a little bit of a jam. That's a good play if it works, but if you toss that baby into center field, you take all the opportunity away from your pitcher to get out of the jam himself.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Stocker. Stocker was walked intentionally once tonight. An unintentional walk to him led off the 3rd inning, and that resulted in the Phillies getting their first run of the ball game, an unearned run. And then Stocker singled in the 7th in the midst of the Phillies' 2-run rally, and singled again in the 8th in the midst of the 3-run rally. So he's been involved in one way or another in all the scoring tonight. And here's a flare out in the left field, but Jackson runs over and catches it. Stocker is retired for the first time tonight. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, 2 hits, and 3 left. We go to the bottom of the 9th, 6-3 Phillies.
Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. I've got a special offer on out-of-print collector baseball cards. Now you can own 200 genuine collectible baseball cards for the unbelievable price of $9.95. It's a collector's dream come true. Each set contains baseball cards going as far back as 1986 and including Topps, Donruss, and Upper Deck that are no longer being printed. Over the years, the value of baseball cards has skyrocketed, and while no one can guarantee baseball cards will go up in value, we can guarantee each set will have star, superstar, rookie, and all-star cards. So take it from me, Mel Allen. At this price, these cards could be gone. 200 genuine collectible baseball cards, no duplicates, mint condition, only $9.95 each, plus $2.95 postage, limit of 5 per household. So get cracking. Call now to order.
Don't you have anything to fit me?
No offense, Mr. Jones, but you are a little on the small side.
I need more choices.
Harry, give me those genuine yellow pages. Look, choices. Italian, Greek, Chinese. You want more?
Those are restaurants.
That's right. You put some meat on those bones and come back and see us.
9 out of 10 use it.
Mr. Matterhorn.
The genuine Bella, Pennsylvania yellow pages from Bell Atlantic.
Are you losing weight?
You'll get a great-looking Phillies poster free, compliments of Acme, plus plenty of fun surprises when the Phillies play the Braves on Fan Appreciation Day, Sunday, September 26th at 1:35. Reserve your tickets now. Call 463-1000.
Phillies making 2 changes. They're bringing Mitch Williams in to pitch. And the other change is Kim Batiste taking over at third base, and they are batting straight up in the batting order.
That puts Williams in the 9th spot, and Batiste now in Dave Holland's number 4 spot. Mitch Williams making his 57th appearance of the season, 3 wins, 4 losses, .338 earned run average, 37 saves. Looking for number 38 this evening. There's Batiste. He comes in for Hollands defensively at third base.
Kim had a good series here at Shea earlier this year. He played third when Hollands was out of the lineup and did a nice job. Well, McKnight's going to lead off. And then they've got Gallagher out on the on-deck circle to bat for Innes. And then Thompson will bat next. McKnight has 2 hits tonight, and both times he was on, he scored. He's 2 out of 3. Mitch always from the stretch, takes that deep breath. facing Mitch Williams just coming into the ball game, you've got to take that first pitch.
Oh, you got to take the first strike.
Yeah. There it is. 1-1.
And if you're Mitch Williams pitching in the 9th inning with a 3-run lead, you don't want to look to see who the dangerous guy is, the guy that can hurt you. And that guy in this inning is Eddie Murray. So you want to try to get business taken care of before you get to Eddie Murray.
Way outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Incidentally, have all barbers in Philadelphia retired, or do you know?
All the ones the Phillies go to. See Mitch right here, front foot slides on him a little bit.
Fouled it off. 2 balls and 2 strikes on McKnight. This is Mitch's first appearance of the series. Got him. Mitch Williams strikes out the first batter he faces. That's a good sign. That is the 10th Met to strike out tonight.
High heat. Boom. Pitch right by McKnight. Knew it was coming, couldn't catch up to it.
Now Gallagher is going to be the pinch hitter. Look at Mitch. He slipped. Had to brace himself there. Gallagher batting .285, 5 homers, 24 RBIs. He's been a pretty good pinch hitter, 9 for 25. And Gallagher tough on the Phillies. He's 7 for 15 against the Phillies, and .361 lifetime for this young man from Trenton, New Jersey. Fly ball hit to left. Is there room? There is. Thompson, enough room to catch it for the out, and there are 2 down. Gallagher flies to deep left. Ryan Thompson steps in. He is 1 for 4, an RBI double, but the other 3 times he struck out. Almost hit him. That'll loosen up Ryan Thompson.
As the Phillies try to close out this game here at Shea Stadium, Montreal down in the 9th inning did not score. So in St. Louis, bottom of the 9th inning, still tied 4-4 with the Cardinals at the plate.
That's a strike. 2-1 now, the count on Ryan Thompson. The Mets have not had a hit since back in the 7th inning when they got the 1 run to tie the ball game at 3 at that point. A little low, and it's 3 balls and a strike on Thompson. The guy who drove in that run is Todd Hundley, and he's the on-deck hitter. Walked him. To Thompson, a runner. That is the first walk given to the Mets tonight. Neither Curt Schilling nor David West had walked the batter. And in steps Hundley. He's 2 out of 4 this evening. 2 singles. 1 RBI. The Phillies lead it 6-3 in the 9th. And Mitch takes another deep breath and prepares to dig in on Hundley. Time is called. Darren Daulton wants to go to the mound.
Mentioned earlier in the inning, the guy that you do not want to see is Eddie Murray. The reason being, if Murray gets to the plate, he's going to have a couple guys on base with the opportunity to try to tie the ball game up with a long ball. Murray with 25 home runs on the season. Nobody else in the lineup until you get all the way down to Jeff Kent is anywhere close to that. So the long ball threat is Eddie Murray, and that's the guy you want to stay away from. To stay away from him and giving him the opportunity to tie the ball game up with 1 swing, you have to get Todd Hundley right here.
Hundley takes a strike, and it's 1-1. The Baltimore Orioles have lost tonight Boston beat them 6-5, so for the moment they're 2.5 out and about to go 3 out because Toronto leads Detroit 14-8 in the 9th. High and inside a ball. The Yankees lost this afternoon 15-5. So the Yankees trail Toronto by 2, and it's about to be 2.5. On the ground, Stocker bobbles, throws to first. He got him, and the game is over. Hundley is out at first, and the Phillies have recovered to win this game 6-3. Mitch Williams with a save, adding to his career high. Mitch with number 38 tonight. And the Phillies are 6-3 winners. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel.